wanna stay. Singing to your bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here in the front, so you get my meals. I'm gunning for the money in the bank. Coming with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping, I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. We appreciate you tapping in to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. For Easy, for Chris, I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights. We gained one compadre this week, and we lost one compadre this week. Easy's back. Nick is out, so we're going to be going hot mic. Kool-Aid's supposed to be here, so we'll see what happens with that. But a lot to talk about. Easy, how was your week off?
Horrible. I did poop solids for like 5 days. Dog, that was the worst.
5 stars.
These
5 stars.
5 stars. That was one of the worst sick experiences I've had in my life. Even today, I can't even breathe properly still. It's weird, man. It was a trippy week.
Yeah.
Trippy and trying week. We survived.
We persevered. You know, I try not to get sick. I try to avoid getting sick. I've been pretty good at not getting sick.
You've been very good this year.
Yeah. Sucks.
You've been very good actually the past 2 years.
I don't really get sick. I got sick once pretty bad since I've been here at Woodward, but other than that,
yeah,
I've been pretty solid. But we got a lot to talk about today.
Helps not having little crotch goblins.
It does help not having those little crotch goblins running around. But we got a lot to talk about today, like I said. Obviously, the Lions now have their divisional matchup set. They will be facing the Washington Commanders on Saturday night at Ford Field.
Shout out.
Excited to see that. We're going to talk about that a lot. But before we get into that, Easy, you got something in here that says $100 super chats, and Easy will denounce Jordan Love and say 10 nice things about Jared Goff.
Yeah, man. It's like I was sick last week because I did not want to miss last week. Last week was the start of a race for however much money we could save up and get a piece of, and I missed the first entire week of it. Yeah. And you guys did the things we reach our goal, and Spencer will sing the Michigan Fight song, or Chris will sing this or that. No, dude, we talk about doing juicy stuff. We're talking about shaving mustaches, shaving heads, eyebrows.
Nick put it out there that he would dye his beard or dye his mustache blue.
Dye his mustache.
And didn't happen.
Didn't happen, but did it reach the goal?
No.
We're going to do the crazy shit. Now, this one, maybe not that crazy, but for me, if you guys know me, you know.
Yeah, he's talking all this
Jordan
shit.
Love guy.
And then he sets one that's exactly the same as the stuff we were doing last week.
Well, I think people would like this one, though. Because if we hit, what was the goal you guys been doing?
We were doing $15, $10 chats, I think.
So we hit $15, $10 chats. I'll denounce Jordan Love. And I'll give you 10 things I like about Jared Goff. Over Jordan Love?
His hair.
3 of them are going to be regarding his wife.
His wife is very hot. He has nice hair. I like his eyes.
Hey, you're giving him away for free right now. All right? If that's not good enough for you guys in the chat, let me know, because I'm trying to win this competition. I had plans to bring in smelling salts, all kinds of crazy shit. I want to turn up. I want to win the competition. We're down.
Probably.
The best ability is availability.
BD is definitely in first. The best ability is availability.
Yes. And I learned that this week. I think we all did. But you guys are here too.
I mean, I've been available.
Yeah.
Chris has been available.
Yeah.
Step it up then. I mean, damn.
Maybe don't get
We
sick
already did.
again.
I mean, we held down a show for a week.
Yeah, and made money doing it.
And we did make money.
So now that you're back, we're going to win, right?
It better be. Now the All-Stars are back, boys.
Hey, we'll see.
Air 5, because we're all sick. Well,
nope, just you.
I'm just me.
Just you.
Spin zone.
Well, I mean, Nick is sick now, but he's not here for that Air 5.
But yeah, Jordan Love sucks.
We'll talk about it.
Jordan Love sucks. He went out there and he choked.
15 super chats, and we'll get into that conversation.
You want me to set that as a goal easy for you?
Huh?
You want me to set that? Because we can set it as a goal on YouTube so where they can see it.
Did you set one already or no?
No, I haven't. I've been doing that for the other ones, but do you want me to do it?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
For sure.
Jordan Love sucks. Justin Herbert sucks too. Apparently it wasn't Brandon Staley, and it was all Herbert.
Do we owe Brandon
There's some
Staley an
conversations
apology?
we get into about all that stuff. I'm not out on Justin Herbert yet. Like, I think were we not a little bit surprised by what we were seeing this season? I mean, they have no weapon. Quentin Johnson, you want to talk about someone who fucking sucks.
Bum.
That guy
Ladd
is
McConkey's a
awful.
dog.
Ladd McConkey's an absolute dog. What are you, like,
Will Dissly's a
250-something?
problem.
Yeah. Will Dissly's, he's a guy.
They have a menagerie of running backs, but no stars, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they traded away Keenan Allen.
I mean,
They cut Mike Williams.
give him to one other guy. He was bad, by the way. Like 4 interceptions. Like,
Yeah.
that's not just because you
Not-
don't have anybody.
yes.
You're out there playing like a dumbass, but like,
Making bad plays, making
Yeah.
bad interceptions.
I guess,
Can't
like, let
blame
me see
the lack
one
of
more
receivers
year.
on throwing the ball to the other team.
huh?
I said you can't blame the lack of receivers because you're throwing the ball to the other team.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, maybe so you have guys that aren't open. I mean, I don't know, but like still.
Nobody on my team could catch it, so I'm going to throw it to
Yeah,
them.
he's working harder. He's an honor.
He's an earner.
I mean, I guess I'm not pulling the plug on the Justin Herbert stuff just quite yet. Am I tripping? I mean,
No, I don't think you're tripping, but
especially
this is more often than not because remember Trevor Lawrence spotted him 5 interceptions in the first half.
Yeah.
And he didn't win that game. And then you're going to go out there and throw like you're a choke artist, Justin Herbert. That is the narrative now. You can't play in the playoffs. Until you prove us wrong, that's true.
Yeah.
So he's got to go out there and change it.
He's been very Stafford-esque, but when I say that though,
Worse than Stafford.
Yeah,
I just remember
that's disrespectful.
Stafford, right? Like what happened? Like he couldn't get that job done here.
Yeah.
Leaves won Super Bowl his first freaking year.
He wasn't throwing 4 interceptions in the playoffs.
Jared
though.
Goff, another guy, kind of just like, hey, this guy's trash, garbage, thrown away. He comes here, he works hard, gets better, great system. Like, I'm just not ready to throw a guy at the talent like Justin Herbert away when I've seen.
Nobody's
the
throwing him
Stafford
away.
story.
He had a good season, but he sucks in the playoffs.
But
And
I'm
it's
with you,
and it's
Easy.
only been twice in the playoffs, right? He's only had 2 playoff games.
Yeah.
Both bad games, but it's not like a large sample. Like I don't know, I'm just not.
No, but it's what's
I'm
in
not
front
ready
of
to
us.
put like big narratives on people quite yet, just because we saw what happened here in Detroit with Goff. You saw what happened with Stafford.
And what was the narrative with Stafford?
What we saw this year with Sam Darnold. Like you get guys in different situations, let them blossom a little bit. Like I think he's in a good situation right now with Jim Harbaugh. I really do, especially with the running backs. Maybe even they get like a stud running back that helps everything out a little bit more too. But like let him get some pieces around him, one piece even. I know Ladd McConkey's one too, but he's more of like a.
Ladd McConkey's a dog.
He is an absolute dog. He's more of a gadget guy. We liked him pre-draft, by the way, too. Let him get like one more dude,
Yeah.
and then we can start having conversations.
I just feel like I feel like, not saying that you are, but some people will get caught in like waiting for the perfect system, the perfect opportunity, and some players just never get that. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you don't get, Jared Goff doesn't get to end up in Detroit with a great GM that surrounds him with talent. Like that just doesn't
Jared
always
Goff made Brad
happen.
Holmes.
So
Come on.
You could say that any quarterback at this level, you could maybe even argue Trey Lance is okay if he just hasn't found the perfect version yet.
No, Trey Lance is dog shit.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but I'm saying facetiously, but that's kind of, you could take that argument to the extreme is what I'm saying. So at some point you got to kind of have like a,
For sure.
Okay,
And-
this
But
guy
it's only
is-
been 2 times.
Yeah.
Shout out to
2
Kool-Aid
times.
coming in.
Shout out to
Appreciate you
Kool-Aid.
filling in, brother. Nick is sick now, so heavyweights just dropping like flies, I guess. We got a couple super chats in there. Crayons for Breakfast says, I'll tell you the same thing I told Neil. Love is going to get his career buried at sea because he doesn't deserve to touch the same dirt Amit comes from.
That's awesome.
It's facts.
That's a bar.
And then you got Dumbo Jumbo
That's
in the
bar.
Woodward Sports chat with a super chat. He says,
sailor wedding or funeral.
huh?
A little sailor. Jeez, oh, Pete's sailor
Rusty.
funeral.
Sailor funeral? I don't know what Sailor funeral is. I'm trying
Pirate's
to
life
see
for me.
Easy denounce Jordan Love. Side note, Stick, as a grown-ass man, always has Easy's name in his mouth,
Whoa.
but never vice versa. Love the show. Always gets me through your work.
Who is that?
Dumbo Jumbo.
Shout out to Dumbo Jumbo. Hope you
Shout
have a
out.
good day at work, man. Make that money.
Appreciate you, sir.
Stick knows how to. He's Stick Bayless.
He is Stick
He knows
Bayless.
how to get under the skin.
Yeah,
1.5.
he's a Hall of Fame instigator for sure.
He got Spinny one time. He got Spinny riled up.
Yeah, he
Spinny,
did.
After he left here, he was meeting at a Planet Fitness worker.
Yeah, I was rude to a Planet Fitness employee.
He's like, we're closed today, sir. He's like, shut up, Stick!
No.
The guy's like, whoa, what the who's Stick?
I went on to apologize to this Planet Fitness worker the next
Spit
time I
on
saw him. Yeah, it was Christmas Eve too, and I was fucking riled up.
Heard you got mad and you exposed yourself.
What?
said, fuck you.
Nope, that's not what happened. I just
Suck it.
Yeah, I just yelled. Felt like a dick, so I apologized to the guy.
Shout out to Dumbo Jumbo. Welcome back, baby. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, and that's like recent discovery too with these quarterbacks because of Sam Darnold, because of Jared Goff, because of Matthew Stafford. Like, I'm not ready to throw away Justin Herbert because of 2 playoff games.
Nobody's throwing him away. I don't think anybody is saying Justin Herbert isn't a good quarterback. Justin Herbert chokes in the playoffs. That is a fact. That is proven by the 2-game sample size that we have. If he wants to have a different narrative cast for himself, then he has to go out there and prove everybody. Nobody's saying Justin Herbert sucks. It's just he chokes in the playoffs.
I think he called him a bum.
He is a bum in the playoffs.
See? It's not willing to say that.
Is he not a bum in the playoffs?
It was a bum in the playoffs this Saturday. That was awful.
And his first game. So every time he's been in the playoffs, he's been a bum.
Just not willing to do that yet.
Is that not true? That is a true statement.
I think there's context and circumstances to every situation.
I think you're trying to cape for him for some reason. He's been a bum. He's been a bum in the playoffs.
I'm saying it like it is.
That is a factual statement that he's been a bum in the playoffs. If he wants to change that statement, don't be a bum in the playoffs.
There's context and circumstances, as I said. And shout out to Dion real quick, too. We got off of the live stream we did on LNU. And we kind of just talking about that game. And he was like, I got the Texans.
I'm going to go wash the dishes.
Yeah, that's hilarious. The way you like paused when you said it, too. Yeah. Get to think about. I got to wash the dishes. But anyway, he's like, I'm picking the Texans. Everyone's kind of hating on them. And they got a dog-ass defense. And yeah. They do got a dog-ass defense.
They got, obviously, those pass rushers up front, Will Anderson, Anthony Hunter, man. They are as good as it gets. Derek Stingley, first-team All-Pro. Like, yeah. They got some dogs.
Autry freaking just went superhuman in that one.
They got some dogs right there. I don't know who blocked the kick.
I think it was Autry.
Might have been.
You guys called me crazy about the Texans. You did.
What?
What about them?
You guys called me crazy about the Texans.
What about them?
About them winning.
Friday
against the Chargers.
Yeah, you guys called me a madman.
I wasn't here, so you keep
but you were
making it up.
What are you French in there? You know, it's not. Spinny called you crazy. Someone
I don't even remember calling him crazy. I think he's just making it up. But we also got some important news.
By the way, I bet 1 sack in that game, and the one guy didn't get was Daniel Hunter.
Yep.
What the? Everybody else in the entire defensive line got a sack. It felt like the one guy I bet on.
Tough.
We're a year short or a year early on the Mike McCarthy stuff because he has been fired as the Dallas Cowboys head coach, and so they're looking to replace him. Maybe Ben Johnson gets an interview in Dallas. We'll see what happens there. But like Sean said it today, Jerry Jones declined his ability to interview with the Bears and then fired him the next day.
He is.
Like, that's fucked up.
That is fucked up. And he's an idiot.
Yeah.
Like, if you're not going to, like, keep him, you missed out on the interview. He has to wait till now the season's over for Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. Those are top candidates.
Yeah.
You know, to
interview
come coach
those guys.
Yeah. And now you're going to, last, like, your second buzzer beater? And you're going to miss, too, because you act like that. Who wants to come work for you or put their future in your hands when you act like that's crazy? And what did Mike McCarthy do wrong for you to tell him no to the Chicago Bears offer, or at least not give him the graces? Like, that's crazy work.
That's just Jerry Jones proving that he is not capable of running an NFL franchise.
I think he's losing it. I think we're watching in real time.
Oh yeah, he's got dementia.
I mean, there's Jamie Foxx had to cut a live short because he's talking about players' penises and stuff like that.
He sure did.
And then this offseason, what we're going all in. What move was all in?
Yeah, Eric Kendricks.
Yeah, we're watching Jerry Jones' mind melt before our eyes, and it's kind of sad. Maybe I don't know.
I'm not. It's not.
Yeah,
sad
I hate the
to me
Cowboys
at all.
too much for it to be sad.
No, and he's
he's
a terrible person.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he did that little Arkansas.
Yep.
But to be fair, he doesn't remember it anymore.
Yeah. Rest in
it doesn't
piss,
count.
Jerry.
Doesn't remember it.
I'll only forgive him if he invites me to the party bus.
There you go.
Down.
I don't even know if I want to go on that party bus.
You might get measured before you hop on that bus, bud.
He might.
Are you big enough? Are you tall enough for that ride? Something you might have to ask yourself. If you guys would like to move out of town from the Jerry Jones and your local facilities, I don't know what I'm going with that one. Call my guy Mark White. All right, I can get you into a new home. Save up to $5,000 in the closing costs of said home. And his number is very simple to remember, but I still need it on the screen. It's 248 not 290 8242. Visit MarkWhiteSells.com. That's 248 290 8242. Visit MarkWhiteSells.com.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and WoodwardSports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go!
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
Attention sports fans, don't miss out on expert sports injury insights with Dr. Jeff Pierce of Michigan Sports and Spine. Join Dr. Pierce every Tuesday during Big D Energy and Thursdays during Ermanni and Edwards, where he offers top-notch injury advice. Trust the guy that DMAC trusts, Dr. Jeff Pierce, here to keep you in the game and performing at your best. For more information, visit Michigan Sports and Spine or call 248-426-9944. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button for Easy, for Kool-Aid, for Chris. I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we appreciate you joining us. We talked about it a little bit on the intro, but kind of the mystique of today's game, or the suspense of today's game for Detroit Lions fans, got ripped away from them because the Tampa Bay Buccaneers choked. And the Washington Commanders went into Tampa Bay with a rookie quarterback, and they beat the Buccaneers to advance. So the Detroit Lions will be playing the Washington Commanders Saturday at 8 o'clock in Ford Field. And shout out to a super chat from Cam Damble. He says, just sat through 2 back-to-back Jersey Mike commercials to be here. Not going to lie, I'm tired of Danny DeVito's face. Hey, appreciate you, man.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry for your loss. Appreciate you gotten through that and joining the boys. But Easy, the Commanders coming into Ford Field. Jaden Daniels, a rookie quarterback. What are you looking at in this game that stands out to you? Commanders versus Lions.
Early preview type stuff. I mean, for me, I think the big narrative that people are going to carry on all this week to try to sell you on a big game or close game is going to be the mobile quarterback. But I think that one's kind of dead. You and I had these conversations before. Like, I don't think there's anybody that's particularly plays well against any mobile quarterback. It's like they get you because you don't know when they're running. It's a element of surprise. But I think for the Detroit Lions hitting this one, for Lions fans to be at peace about, is you got a guy named Alex Anzalone return to that lineup. And he's just, like you said, he's sideline to sideline with it. On top of Jack Campbell having like the best season of his career, I'm not really concerned with Jaden Daniels. On top of that, too, the guy calling the shots, Cliff Kingsbury, called shots for another light-skinned mobile quarterback that came to Detroit. The story went, we whooped that ass. Some home limping. The way Amon-Ra St. Brown was talking about Fred Warner, him limping. And that was Cliff Kingsbury. He came here, Kyler Murray. Broke him. Broke the Arizona Cardinals. Got Cliff Kingsbury fired then afterward. We exposed his little whatever the hell charades he had going on. And you have a rookie quarterback that's kind of limited to what he can do at this point, although yes, he's performing very, very well. But I think it's more crunch time than it is like all around. I think the same thing with the Detroit Lions situation. Aaron Glenn owns Cliff Kingsbury. Dan Campbell, part of that same thing. You look at Dan Quinn, their head coach. Maybe you can find like some positive to say there about the Commanders. But even then, Dan Campbell used to go against them when he was in the Saints uniform. There's a lot of familiarity with this Detroit Lions team that is in our favor in this matchup. That's the only thing is a mobile quarterback.
Yeah. When I look at this game, the first thing I look at is this Washington Commanders run defense. Because we know the strength of the Detroit Lions, even with Jared Goff having an amazing season, even with Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jameson Williams both going over 1,000 receiving yards on the year, is that run game. And the Washington Commanders can't stop a nosebleed when it comes to running the ball. They have had the third most rushing yards against in the NFL. They give up over 4.5 yards per carry, and you're getting David Montgomery back. So yeah, Jaden Daniels, he's a good quarterback. He can cause havoc. He can create a lot of mismatches, but he is not going to be on the field enough to hurt the Detroit Lions, because the Detroit Lions are going to own the clock, run the ball, and punch the rock down the Commanders' throat all game. Starting from that first drive, which is going to be David Montgomery's welcome back to Detroit. Can you imagine that place? Ford Field, Saturday night, divisional round playoff. David Montgomery's first game back, and he's busting off 7-8 yards of carry on that first drive to set the tone, because we know that's how they like to use it. I think David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Craig Reynolds, Sion Vaki, Jamar Jefferson, whoever it is running behind this Detroit offensive line is going to have their way with the Washington Commanders defense. They're going to be gouging them, and it's going to be a fast game. We're going to see a very fast game because that clock's going to be running tick, 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 tick as these guys run down the field and gash this Commanders defense. So I know that the 8.5 spread or whatever it is makes people nervous, and the Jaden Daniels effect makes people nervous. But we have one of the best running offenses in the NFL, and they have one of the worst rushing defenses in the NFL. And that's the story of the game. We are going to dominate them in the trenches, and we are going to take their souls by running the ball consistently and getting 5, 6, 7 yards of carry.
There was a play yesterday where Jaden Daniels didn't get out in time. His foot was still in the air, whatever the hell it was. And it literally looked like emo. He went flying. Yeah. It looked like it could have been it's very early in the game, like first quarter. It felt like it could have been a flag. If Jack Campbell does that, if Alex Deloney does that, like he can make plays. He can extend drives on those third and fourth and shorts, whatever it may be. But God forbid it be all game long against this linebacking core.
Yeah.
This is one that don't play. This is the one you know what the rule. Everybody thinks they're dirty. You heard Justin Fields say it. I don't like the way Alex Deloney plays. Why? Because he plays the whistle.
Yeah, because he hits you.
Yeah. You heard Caleb Williams try to make the same comments. I don't like the way Jack Campbell plays. Why? Because he plays the whistle. He's going to hit you if you don't get out of bounds in time. I think Jaden Daniels is being a rookie itself. And I 100% agree with everything you're saying about the run game as well, too. But you go to our defensive side aspect of it is like I just don't know if he'll be able to carry this team the way he's carried them against other teams. The Detroit Lions are just too good and too physical.
Yeah, and this dirty moniker that the Detroit Lions have, I don't care anymore. Call us dirty. The bad boys, they got called dirty. They were a little bit. They won a championship. Rasheed Wallace, he was dirty, right? Those Pistons, going to work Pistons were a little dirty. They won a championship. Darren McCarty kneed Claude Lemieux in the back of the head on the ice in front of 40,000 people.
Great guy.
Kids
Great
were
guy.
there.
Didn't even get kicked out of the game. They won a lot of championships.
The game
Those
winner.
Red Wings teams. So call us dirty. I don't care. We're going to punch you in the mouth, and we're going to out-physical your team.
You call it dirty, we call it gritty.
Yep.
For me, and that's where I kind of want to go with this, is like my early preview is those first drives for both teams. I want to see, because coming off that Minnesota game, we saw a quarterback that's a veteran quarterback, but he was absolutely shook, deer in the headlights in the moment at the Lions Ford Field. I want to see how Jaden Daniels is going to respond on his first drive. I want to see how the Lions are going to come out. I do think, like you said, Spencer, it is going to be a Monty-heavy first drive. They're going to physically impose their will that first drive, and I want to see how the Commanders are going to respond to that, because I think the thing about the Lions having home field advantage and it being so strong is that if they get that ball first, they score, and you turn the ball over and you give it back to this offense, or just a quick 3 and out or something along those lines, all of a sudden you can find yourself down 2 possessions, and it's the end of the first quarter, and now you're just in panic mode, and things can go really bad really fast for other teams. And I'm interested to see how a quarterback like Jaden Daniels, who has performed well throughout the season, how he performs in that situation, because I don't think point to a game on their schedule where you think it's going to be anything like the atmosphere he's playing against the Lions.
He will. This will be the. You go back to him at LSU. SEC. It just means more. It is going to be. He will never have played in an atmosphere like this in his life. and the Lions are going to bring it. The fans are going to bring it, and I keep hearing this from national media, from Dan Orlovsky, from even Dan Campbell himself said it. They were saying it last night. Chris Collinsworth, whoever it was, Jaden Daniels doesn't look like a rookie quarterback. He doesn't play like a rookie quarterback. Aaron Glenn is going to make him look like a rookie quarterback. This defense is going to make him look like a rookie quarterback. Because I believe in good on good, Aaron Glenn versus Jaden Daniels, fantastic player. I like him a lot. He's got a lot of potential going forward. But Aaron Glenn is going to scheme him into hell against this Detroit Lions defense, and I fully expect him to look like a rookie quarterback on Saturday.
Facts.
Yep.
That's
Where I'm at. Kool-Aid?
It's just facts, man. I'm just sitting back, just listening to it, and like the way that you guys sound is the way that everybody in Detroit needs to feel.
Yeah.
Confident. This team has already proven what they are, and all season people have underestimated what this Detroit Lions team could be. I get it. The injuries, and you had to see, but they've proven that. And that defensive line, it was something that they said, DJ Reader, and he was like, you know what, we were just kind of getting to figure each other out. Now we feel like we have. Why? Because it's a brand new defensive line. That defensive line got after it against the Vikings in a way that I didn't really see the previous couple weeks. So they bring that type of pressure. You talk about Anzalone and Jack Campbell. We already know how these safeties are going to get after it.
Yep.
I really believe all these people like Stephen A. Smith and others who really believe that the Lions are the ones on upset watch, that's crazy. That means that you are not really watching. You have not paid attention. And I chuckled at your Aaron Glenn statement because it's exactly right. Mm-hmm. He has schemed great and better quarterbacks into hell. Why are people believing that he's not going to do the same to Jaden Daniels? I just don't understand it.
I agree. And we're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to keep talking this and see what Jaden Daniels really has in store for the Detroit Lions. But first, let me tell you guys about the pregame show here on Woodward Sports. Start your day off with Terry and Broder. It's Woodward and Maine right in the morning when you wake up. Get all the updates, all of the who's in, who's out, whatever you need for the Lions game. Start it with Terry and Broder. And then you've got the pregame show live at Second Best, 42 Watson Street, downtown, 2 blocks away from LCA. It is the best spot to pregame a show. And you've got Neil and Sean for the New Holland Brewing Company pregame show presented by Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, and of course, Les Stanford Chevrolet.
Injuries can't stop this train. Choo-choo.
Warriors, good win, break it down.
Super Bowl or bust, baby, for our Detroit Lions. And Woodward Sports will be there all the way. Detroit's #1 Lions destination is Woodward Sports.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
The bad boys from the NFL are here. Your 2024 Detroit Lions are the hardest hitting, highest flying, trickiest playing, grittiest team in the NFL.
A dominant team.
Get all your coverage of your favorite team right here in your favorite network. Woodward Sports. Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward Golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Since 1996, Feldman has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and friendly car buying experience known as the Feldman Advantage. Make sure you tap in. Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. You can visit the Woodward Sports crew every other Tuesday live at Feldman Chevrolet of Novi. Come out there. They make the car buying experience as easy as it can be. I mean, Flannel bought a car from them. What else do you need to know? Make sure you go check out Feldman Chevrolet in Novi, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
What are you trying to say about Flannel, Sam?
He can be difficult. What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. Appreciate you joining. For Easy, my compadre is back. Kool-Aid in the booth. Chris in the other booth. I am Spencer Raxter. We got a lot to talk about. Detroit Lions obviously now have their matchup set in the divisional round. They're going to be facing the Washington Commanders. Jaden Daniels, Dan Quinn, that defense. We're going to see what happens when they come into Ford Field. But there has been a lot of stress on this season for the Detroit Lions. Super Bowl or bust, some may say. You know, if you don't win a Super Bowl, it's a failure, some may say. And I am one of those people. I think it is a Super Bowl or bust season. Even with the number 1 seed, though, Dan Campbell might not share those same sentiments. Dan Campbell's still trying to take it a game at a time. And Eric Woodward, obviously friend of the show, friend of the network, he is the beat reporter for the Detroit Lions for ESPN. He got Dan Campbell's comments talking about Super Bowl or bust.
No, I mean, listen, everything's about this game right now. And I've said it before, I've been to the Super Bowl and I've lost it and it stinks. So it's about this week. We got to find a way to win this game this week.
Is it hard to keep the players focused on that, knowing that you're just 2 games away, or do you think you drill that into them that it's just the next step?
Yeah, I think it's actually, I don't think that's hard at all. I think they understand what's at stake. I know they watched these games this weekend. They watched that game last night. This is and inevitably, I mean, I showed the team really every game, just different situations that popped up, a snapshot of what happened. And you just look at, what could have cost the team, whether it's a drop here, whether it's a penalty, whether it's a situation, whatever it is, and they're littered all through, the week, and that's what the playoffs are, man, that one extra play, just doing your job in the heat of the moment, and if you do that, you give yourself the best odds. If not, the other team's going. And so we've got a really good opponent here. They got a dynamic quarterback. They're playing good offense, good defense, really good coaching, and we got a work cut out for us.
So it's a little bit of coach speak there. Definitely talking about what you need to talk about. I still believe that he believes it is Super Bowl or bust. That's all this team has been preaching all season is win the Super Bowl. But what he says is completely right. You got to focus on who's in front of you. You can't worry, especially in the playoffs, because it is win or go home. So you got to focus on the Commanders. You got to focus on taking care of business against a team that has. I saw somebody said it in BD chat today. We're going to be hearing this a lot this week. The Commanders are playing on house money. They are, and the Detroit Lions are the number 1 seed in the NFC for a reason. They're going to go out there. They're going to take care of business. But Dan Campbell keeping his guys focused, which is what you want to hear out of your head coach.
Absolutely. You can't get caught slipping in this game, especially at this level, especially in the playoffs. It's not the NBA. It's not them up. It's not a series. It's a one-and-done scenario. Yeah. And football, one of the things that I think I love about it most is it's truly like a chess match at times. And attention to detail truly matters. I think the Detroit Lions, the way they operate themselves, is a lot of attention to detail. That's why you're able to do the stumble rooski or the stumble bum, whatever they end up calling it. It's like you paid attention to detail. You saw that they bid on that. And you took advantage of that. We can't get caught sleeping, vice versa. You can't look. Yes, absolutely, it is Super Bowl or bust. The team mantra, for Christ's sakes, is it takes more. It takes more for what? Where were they almost to last year? The Super Bowl. Yeah. That's the goal right now, but it's one game at a time, and that's how you have to focus in the playoffs. That's how this team focuses every single week. There's been so many more, and don't worry, there's definitely extra incentives and motivations throughout the season. We've seen it, the Cowboys game, the San Fran game. People definitely want their lickbacks, but again, you got to take it as just one game at a time. You can't let it be bigger than what it is. You have to zoom in on the fine details of what it's going to take to defeat these teams. And that's why I just think a guy like Jaden Daniels isn't going to come in here and befuddle a Detroit Lions team that's focused like that. Yeah. They know it's Super Bowl or bust. This is this last rodeo for guys they love. For the longest tenured defensive coordinator, for the longest tenured offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn. Both those guys been here, been part of it. Ben Johnson, half the reason he came back was to win this damn Super Bowl. They're locked in for this one, and they're not going to skip past a team like the Commanders or whoever it may be because they know what it takes to win.
Yeah. And shout out to Dante151 in the Woodward Sports chat saying, I guess Bo Nix was playing with a fractured back since week 12. That's fucking insane to do. And I have a newfound respect for Nix. Him and Mayfield, I'm becoming a fan of. Let's go Lions.
That's crazy.
That is pretty wild.
And I did become a fan of Bo Nix over the season, too.
Bo Nix has looked really good.
He's just a fucking
very good at processing and defense, and it didn't look like talk about not looking like a rookie. Like he didn't look rattled all year.
He's just a gamer.
Yeah,
like he's gonna put on the helmet. He's gonna go. He's kind of he said Baker Mayfield in the same sentence. Mm-hmm. Bo Nix kind of had the same little moxie to me.
Like little Bakerish.
Yeah, he didn't care as a rookie. He's stepping up to the Giants. He's gonna give you his best shot. The Bengals game was like, I guess, very telling of that for me. That fucking final throw he had in the corner of the end zone, that was sick.
That was insane.
He didn't care what the odds were. He's going to try to make the damn throw. Yeah. I respect Bo Nix for that.
Shout out to Gun Guy, take your pants off. But, yeah, when you look at what Dan Campbell should be saying to these guys know what it is. You don't have to – you got a lot of young talent for sure, but you also have veteran leadership at almost every step of the way. When you look at the offensive line, to the running back room, to obviously Jared Goff, to the wide receivers – to the defense. That's why you brought in DJ Reader. That's why you have Alex Anzalone. Obviously, Carlton Davis is injured, but he's still with the team, and he's still going to talk to him about it. So I fully expect this team to be prepared. They're not taking any of these teams for granted. Obviously, the Commanders are there for a reason. They went out there, and they took advantage of a Tampa Bay Buccaneers team that has been hot or not all season. It's been, what are you going to get with the Bucs? You never know. But Baker went out there. He was playing lights out for a majority of the year, and they took care of business. And Dan Quinn was aggressive with his play calling. He was aggressive with his fourth down decisions, and it won them the game. So hats off to the Commanders. But what you're coming into is not Tampa Bay.
No.
What you're coming into is not the Buccaneers.
No.
This is Ford Field. This is Detroit. This is the number 1 seed Detroit Lions. Like, Bucky Irving was carving you guys up. They got away from it because that's a lot of their offense. They're taking shots down the field to Mike Evans, stuff like that. David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs are going to put their dicks on the table in this game. Like, you're not going to get reprieve. We have that twin-headed monster back. If they want to run the ball every single play against you guys, they're going to run the ball every single play against you guys. And you can't stop them.
That's the thing, too, is like you
rested, too.
You could look at the Detroit Lions and you could think on the outside they're just muscling everybody. They're just gritting everybody through it. They're just Dan Campbell and biting kneecaps. And that part of it element is very much true. And within the game, it's layered in there, though. Behind, like, the mad scientists of Ben Johnson, when you have that many weapons and to efficiently and effectively get them all each their touches and have them be threats in that game, from Jamison Williams to Sam Laporta to both the two-headed running backs. They couldn't even stop Bucky Irving, like you said, to Dave Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs. And then you have a guy like Jared Goff, again, has been operating the system for 3 years now. Yeah, like, this is how they operate. They're not going to look over this team because the way they beat you is they pick you apart. And it's not based on like what they want to do. Sometimes it is when they want to prove a point, and that is like when you look at the Cowboys game, when you look at Ben Johnson, those guys being petty. But they're going to pick you apart based on what you can't stop. And in this game, particularly, is going to be the run. And you had an off week of them to prepare. I know that you're supposed to be chilling, being with your family. They want to win the fucking Super Bowl, brother.
Absolutely.
They were. I mean, yeah, they're chilling with the fam, but you don't think in the back of their mind, what was on their mind was win the trophy.
Absolutely. And Easy, I saw we both just sent the same video in Slack.
Shout out.
Coming up next, we're going to hear more from Dan Campbell about Jaden Daniels and that rookie quarterback and what he's playing like. But I'm so confident in this game. Like, I was so confident in, like I said, the Red Wings. I know it's a completely different sport, completely different scenario, but Red Wings Blackhawks, I said that was the most confident I've ever been in the Detroit Red Wings playing a game in the past 5 years. And they went out there and they took care of business like they should. I am so confident that you talk about the NFL, you talk about matchups make fights. Matchups make blowouts too. And Aaron Glenn and this opportunistic defense against a rookie quarterback, and then you got the running attack that the Detroit Lions have coming off of a bye week, your offensive line getting healthy, getting David Montgomery back, going up against one of the worst running defenses in the NFL.
Yeah.
It could get ugly in Ford Field on Saturday.
And like you said, it's going to go quick. The clock's not going to stop. And that goes for both sides of the ball, too, because, Jaden Daniels, I almost said McDaniels. My fat ass thing went McDonald's or something. I don't know what to go on with that one. But Jaden Daniels will be running the football, running the clock down as well, too. So it's going to be a quick one on Ford Field. I expect that to be the same, too. When we get back, we got Jared.
Bach.
Bach.
I would be Bach.
Would be Bach. Nosferatu will tell us about Jaden Daniels and his threat to the Detroit Lions.
But first, let me tell you about second best. I was there before I went to the Pistons game on Saturday, which they won, which we're going to talk about later. Met Trajan Langdon. Shout out to him. Second best. It's the best. It's literally 2 blocks away from LCA. So, and there's free parking down the street. So you park there, go to second best, and then walk to LCA. 42 Watson Street, Detroit, Michigan. I went there with my dad. He got the patty melt. I got the chicken sandwich. We split some cheese curds. It was delicious. You know, the Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey was flowing. Second best bar in downtown Detroit. Make sure you go tap in. It's the best spot when you're looking at pregame for whatever it is downtown. You're going to a concert, you're going to a show, you're going to a game, you're just going to a night at the casino. Stop at Second Best first, get some food, get some drinks, have a good time. Second Best Bar, 42 Watson Street, downtown Detroit.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Congratulations to the real coach of the year, Motor City Dan Campbell.
Just put your head down and go to work. It's about to be fun, man. It's about to be fun.
Woodward Sports.
1800 Tequila has teamed up with the Detroit Lions and Woodward Sports for Woodward Sports Lions watch parties live at Hayes Social in Shelby Township. So if you're in the area, make sure you tap in. If you are not able to attend, please go to the stream on YouTube and Twitter. And when you're getting 1800 Tequila, make sure you get the custom-made Lions bottle, a special bottle for a special season. It's 1800 Tequila, the best tasting tequila in the game. So when you're drinking it, please drink responsibly.
What up, though, everybody? Welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live. I'm Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button for Easy, for Kool-Aid, for Chris. I am Spencer. We got a like goal or a super chat goal in there. If we get 14 more $10 or more super chats, Easy will denounce Jordan Love, and he will give his 13 reasons why for Jared Goff. Shout out to Luigi Gaming with a super chat in the Woodward Sports chat. He said, "We are a running team whose quarterback is second in passing." And it's true, man. I talked about it as well a little bit last week, but David Montgomery and what he's going to do for the play action game, I think it's going to be staggering. When we expect I might do a J-Mo touchdown in this one because Jared Goff's going to pull it out, from David Montgomery's gut, and he's going to hit J-Mo down the sideline. I believe it. Thanks for tapping in.
That's crazy.
Make sure you smash that like button. But before we went to break, obviously we were talking about the Lions matchup with the Commanders on Saturday in the divisional round of the playoffs. Jaden Daniels, he's been getting a lot of praise from a lot of different head coaches throughout the year, from a lot of the national media, and Dan Campbell had some things to say about the rookie quarterback, and here's what he had to say.
Dangerous. He's dangerous. He poses a major threat. He does not play the position like a rookie quarterback. He's composed. He understands how to progress. He sees the field well. He can buy time with his legs. He's a dangerous runner. He's smart. He's smart. You can tell he understands how to run that offense, what they're asking him to do. And then he's got weapons. He's got weapons around him. I mean, his receiver's pretty dang good. 17's a hell of a player, He's got a good back. He's got more than one receiver. Ertz at tight end. I mean, they've got weapons. The O-line plays hard. But he's a difference maker.
Speaking on Jaden Daniels, and obviously I heard every word he said, But at the end, he summed it up perfectly. He is a difference maker. He is a playmaker. The guy won the Heisman for a reason. Like, he was a freak last year at LSU, and now he's got a nice assortment of weapons to go to. But, again, I just don't think he's going to be on the field long enough to really hurt you. Because I think this offense is going to control the game, control the time of possession. We're going to see 7-8-minute drives from this team scoring touchdowns. And I think Jaden Daniels is going to have to rush things. He's going to have to take chances that he doesn't want to because he's going to have to go down the field in this limited time that he has. And I could see Kirby getting one from him.
I like Jaden Daniels a lot. Not only like he's capable of making those big plays, I think he will make those big plays, and it will be against his Detroit Lions defense. But I just don't believe it'll be consistently enough for them to win the game. I'm not telling you guys that I think it's going to be a blowout. I'm not telling you guys that they're not going to have a chance to be in it. I think Jaden Daniels is going to have a few plays and be like, wow, that kid's going to be a something.
Mm-hmm.
But it stops it there. I don't think we're going to be a threat at losing the game. The first half might be close, and you might see the same way you saw a couple of these other games this week. In the second half, be blowouts. You saw Denver or Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos keep it close the first half against the Bills. What happened in the second half? It was all Buffalo.
Yeah.
Wonder why? Rookie quarterbacks are just limited. It is what it is. I see a guy in the chat right now getting mad that we're not making it more controversial, like it's supposed to be this close game. A rookie I don't give a fuck. You can pick any rookie quarterback in the history of the NFL. Any one of them. Not a single one has won the Super Bowl. I wish I could. I'm going to ask ChatGPT in a minute
Who's
here.
getting mad?
How many of them even got into the conference championship?
Yeah.
It doesn't happen for a reason. They're limited. They're capped at what they could do. I think Jaden Daniels is phenomenal. I think Jaden Daniels will make these phenomenal plays, but he's not going to make enough of them. He's going to get caught. He's going to get stopped. He's not going to score every drive. And the reality is, the Detroit Lions, and I'm not even trying to sound cocky, that's just what it is. This offense has been historic.
Yeah.
I think the third most scoring all time.
Mm-hmm.
We can score every drive. Like he would have to provide that every single drive to give their team the opportunity. They're going to have a couple of empty ones where they're just going to go for on fourth down and not get it and get 0 points out of it.
Yeah.
We're going to go for on fourth down and more than likely get it.
Score a touchdown.
And get those 6 points out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's just that's the type of game they're going to have to play. That's the type of game almost any team, despite a rookie quarterback would have to play. A normal quarterback would have to play to beat the Detroit Lions defense. And you don't see it. You haven't seen it, let alone a guy is doing it for the first time.
We're like, I don't mean to sound disrespectful when I say this.
Yeah, I'm really not trying to.
But we are in a different league than the Washington Commanders. As a team, as an organization, with continuity, that had that bye week, that's getting players healthy, that's getting players back, they're going to come in there and they're going to punch you in the mouth. And I don't know how Jaden Daniels will be able to respond. On the road, in the most hostile environment in the NFL, a team that's been waiting for him 2 weeks to come to their house, getting their hammer back in the backfield in David Montgomery, we're going to go out there and we're going to sock you in the mouth. And Jaden Daniels might be able to, respond to that first one. He might be able to parry that first hit. But after that guard's broken and we start slugging on you, you're going to go down eventually.
Like, look, do people realize that the Detroit Lions have 6 all-pros? We're not talking about Pro Bowlers, all-pros. And that does not include Jahmyr Gibbs and Brian Branch.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like it's just all season. And going back to the offseason, that people just want to quickly throw the dirt on the Lions. And I just don't understand it. They've made people look like fools over and over and over again. I just don't understand why at this juncture, when they've shown you that their makeup, their identity is overcoming adversity, why you would pick them right now when they actually got probably the most favorable matchup, the lowest seed in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. They keep going back to this one little, but he's a running quarterback. Guys, what is your defense doing up against ours? What about the time of possession like you guys keep talking about?
Yeah.
How many are you guys sitting here telling me that Daniels is going to go out there and get like how many possessions? I think it'd be lucky if they get more than 2 possessions in any given quarter.
I agree 100%.
Do we read the Burn super chat?
I will. Chris, what were you going to say?
Yeah, I'm with you guys, but I will say, because I'm doing the numbers right now and I got them in front of me, that this team actually does attempt quite a few fourth downs, and they do convert at a pretty well rate, slightly higher rate than the Lions, but it's context because they have a few less attempts, so it's pretty much even, couple percentage, couple attempt difference. They're pretty much an even team, but again, the factor of Jane Daniels has never been in this environment with this spotlight, with this intensity. So I do think that this moment will ultimately be too bright for him. But you're right. I mean, look, they have all the tools to just be able to just wear you down and win any style way. Like, they are a malleable team, and that's why I'm so confident in this game, is that no matter how this game goes, they are malleable and able to win in any given situation. If they have to make this a passing game, they will win through the passing game.
Yeah.
If they make it a running game, which I think they will prefer to, obviously, it will be a dominating Lions win. So I just, you have to have confidence in this team, man. I think a lot of people that, to Kool-Aid's point, that talked about this team, going against this team, I think that's just people being contrarian, trying to be the smartest person in the room instead of just looking at the obvious. Sometimes 2 + 2 is 4, guys. Sometimes it is. Like, it's not that deep.
And just one question for y'all, too. Do you guys remember how perfect Josh Allen had to play? Mm-hmm. That's what I'm saying. How
and
perfect.
That's
and it was a 6-point game.
Yeah.
After the first quarter, it was pretty much the Lions woke up, that offense got going. I feel like people are it's not about being overly confident. It's about the fact that do you believe Jaden Daniels is going to play as perfect? Josh Allen was on a run for some of those plays.
Yeah.
And now think about the Lions actually, the Lions' pressure, in my opinion, wasn't as good in the Bills game as it was in their most recent game.
Oh, for sure. And you get guys back like Anzalone and Ifeatu Melifonwu, and they're going to be big factors when it comes to getting or limiting Jaden Daniels in that run game, because we know they play sideline to sideline very well and they limit those outside runs. Alex Anzalone and Ifeatu Melifonwu are going to be tasked with containing Jaden Daniels, and I think they're going to do a good job at it. And Byrne in the Woodward Sports chat says, I don't give a damn what he does between the 1 and 1 yard lines. They'll be forced to go for it on 4th and goal every time. And to Chris's point, Dan Quinn is an aggressive coach as well. Dan Quinn likes to go for it on 4th downs. He likes to do those calls. Yeah. There's a difference when you're going for it on 4th and 2 in playing the New York Giants in October than going for it on 4th and 2 in Ford Field in January. And you're going to hear the difference. And I saw someone in there saying over under how many false starts. Rookie quarterback, false starts, delay of games. Ford Field's going to be loud. It's going to be the loudest arena he's ever played in. Ask Matthew Stafford. Ask Sean McVay. So I expect to see some rookie mistakes out of Jaden Daniels. I do.
And the other thing too is I think people who are, I don't know if they're here every time. I don't know how big of Detroit Lions fans they are, but just watch and just pay attention to the way this team's constructed. The type of players they're grabbing are these guys that love the sport of football. They're not grabbing choir boys. They're not grabbing just studs and beasts. Otherwise, we have Jalen Carter and stuff like that. No, they're grabbing guys who love the game of football. And that's why I tell you, we don't just attack the game with just Dan Campbell ruthless aggression. It's layered in there, but it's very much war of attrition. It's very much attention to detail and all that stuff like that, because they love the game of football. And they draft these guys, collect these guys, because they know they're going to take every little bit of step it takes to win these goddamn games. You look at the way you watch Penei Sewell, those pregame speeches. This team loves. They're starved for these moments.
Yes,
and it's a insatiable appetite because they're going to continue to be hungry every single time. It's like Dan Campbell said. All right, we could be the hunted, but just know we're going to be on the front porch waiting for you. And that's the type of guys we have. That's the type of dogs we're bringing to the party. You think, I don't care the fucking determination or the underdog or nothing to lose that Jaden Daniels' Commanders team has to have. You watch Penei Sewell, he's just as hungry every single game. Doesn't matter if it's preseason. Matter of fact, there's a week last week, or this year in training camp, they wanted to give the veterans the last week off. Penei Sewell said, no, I want to work the left side of the line. Like, these guys love it, and that's the leaders in the locker room. And everybody else follows suit after that. Amon-Ra St. Brown, just as much of a dog.
Yeah.
In fact, they're trying to get another guy incentives, and Josh Reynolds trying to get his bread up, his little extra catch incentives and yard incentives. But Amon-Ra was going too goddamn hard. Yeah. I think he stopped him from getting the yards one. I think he ended up getting the catches. But that's the guys in this locker room, from top to bottom. Guys that are unsensationalized, and they're going to continue to be hungry. I'm sorry, I'm butchering that word pretty hard. Say it for me.
Unsatiated.
Unsatiated?
Yeah.
Oh, that's not even what I was going for. I was just saying the wrong word in general. But either way, these boys are hungry. And it's that this team's crafted with those guys for a reason.
Make sure you smash that like button in the chat. Chris, throw up a like poll in there when you can. Shout out to Dat Boy Roy with the super chat in the Woodward Sports chat. He says, if Baker doesn't fumble the ball, their chance of winning was really low, and he had played in Philly but had not been in the playoff atmosphere like Philly or Detroit or even KC.
That's a phenomenal point right there.
100%. Like, I'm telling you, we're going to see Aaron Glenn and the Detroit Lions fan base is going to make Jaden Daniels look like a rookie. He's still going to do his thing. Like, Jaden Daniels, very talented. He's going to get you on a couple plays. He's going to make some plays where you're like, damn, this kid's good, like Easy said. But Aaron Glenn and this fan base and this atmosphere is going to show that he is still a rookie. He bleeds just like us. The real K77 in the Woodward Sports chat says first to 30 wins. First to 30 wins. I got money on the Lions. I don't know if the Commanders will be able to get to 30. So I agree with that 100%.
And I do think, like, you'll see certain moments, and probably the beginning, early in chat. I know we'll probably be doing the watch party. We'll see you guys commenting. I'll tell you right now, Terry McLaurin's going to have a big-ass play.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
And there's going to be people fired up in the chat ready to fire Aaron Glenn, ready to tell them the Lions, the moment was too big for them and stuff like that. It's not going to continue all game long, and even if it does, it'll be just that one guy. I mean, if you want me to be nervous about something, I do think Terry McLaurin could carve us up a little bit there.
Yeah.
And I love Amik Robinson. I think what he did against Justin Jefferson was tremendous, but I think a part of what he did against Justin Jefferson was the fact that he played against him his entire life. We don't have that same benefit against Terry McLaurin and Amik Robinson. I think he'll get him. There's a little bit of unfamiliar territory there. But that's just the name of the game. We talk about it all the time. We had Calvin Johnson do that every single week. Didn't win a single playoff game with that.
Yeah.
Not a goddamn one. Mm-hmm. That's one of the greatest wide receivers of all time. We see Justin Jefferson go, what is he, like 0-4 against us last tries? 0-5? Something crazy like that? Broke records that Randy Moss and Chris Carter could even do. And he's just running it up. Didn't win a single one of those games. Like, I don't care. They can have those big moments. They can have these big gains of yards, highlight plays. It's the consistency of the Detroit Lions offense is just too much to overcome. And if they do have these, we're going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. It's going to look like a bukkake.
We're going to break on that one. Let me tell you guys about Les Stanford. Les Stanford Chevrolet. They gave me a new read and I don't have it. Are you overdue for a new car right now? A Blazer EV2 LT with all-wheel drive is only $149 per month. Or check out the Equinox EV LT for only $169 per month. Go to Les Stanford today or click the QR code on the screen and check out their massive inventory. Don't forget, Les Stanford has Cadillac, Buick, and GMC as well. Les Stanford in Dearborn and Ferndale, LesStanford.com.
Is that an octopus in your pants, or are you just happy to see me? See what I did there? Go Red Wings! From Octopi Experts, Woodward Sports.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles. And with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at LesStanford.com today.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon, and Ermanni and Edwards with Maz Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you. The countdown to kickoff is here. Your Detroit Lions are ready for another season of grit. Woodward Sports is your #1 destination for all breaking news and Lions coverage. We are Detroit's #1 sports network. We are Woodward Sports.
Don't tell me you know ball if you're not doing your game day Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Because if you're not doing it that way, you're doing it wrong. They got 7 signature flavors of their signature wings. Make sure you guys check them out. Soroki's crispy chicken and pizza. Visit Sorokis.com to find one near you.
What up, though, everybody, and welcome back to the Woodward Heavyweights Live on Woodward Sports. Make sure you smash that like button. Appreciate you for joining us. For Easy, for Kool-Aid, for Chris, I am Spencer. We've been talking about the Commanders and the Lions matchup. Obviously, this is on Saturday at Ford Field. The divisional round of the playoffs is set in stone. Easy, what else are you looking at in this matchup? What else are you looking at between these two teams that could be extenuating factor on why or why not the Lions win this game?
I think we've been kind of clear. We're pro Lions as a matchup for sure, but I guess a guy I'm looking forward to watch playing because he made the All-Pro, and I didn't even know he was doing it like that still. We talked about it briefly. Bobby Wagner. Mm-hmm. He's playing for the Washington Commanders team, obviously led by Dan Quinn as a defensive coordinator. I kind of want to see what he's playing like these days. We know what it is with the run game. I think, all due respect to them, I know they're missing guys like Deron Payne, and he had an injured thumb, and I think there's another big lineman there missing throughout the season too. Maybe context to some of those numbers, but we have one of the best offensive lines. Probably that for me, actually. Kevin Zeitler. Before the Washington game or the Minnesota game ended, we saw him kind of come up limp a little bit on his hamstring. I think that could be one that's important for the Detroit Lions to watch out for. 2 weeks of rest for him, however. I think we should be fine if that's typically what it is, for hamstrings and whatnot. But he's also 35 years old.
Yeah.
But again, I had a highlight reel of a rookie guard have 1 million views on my X account. I love Kevin Zeitler. Could have been an All-Pro. Mm-hmm. But I'm still confident if we put Christian Mahogany in there too, we'll still be just as efficient.
I agree.
Running the football.
Yeah.
I think maybe we lack pass blocking without him. But that's about it.
Mahogany, he blocks nasty.
What matchup situations are you looking forward to?
What'd you say, Kool-Aid?
No, I said Mahogany blocks nasty.
Yeah, he does.
Yes.
There's a reason that they wanted him. There's a reason they drafted him.
There's a reason why they call him the dirtbag.
There's a reason why they call him the dirtbag. And Ryan Ermanni in the Woodward Sports Chat says, fun fact, last time Washington won a playoff game, Mark Brunell was their starting quarterback. Mark Brunell is now the Lions quarterback coach, yeah.
Wow.
That's pretty cool. Shout out Mark Brunell.
He said that's the last time they won a playoff game?
The last time they won a playoff game.
Didn't they win with Robert Griffin?
No, I don't think so. They got to the playoffs, and then he fell apart. Because he got injured in like the last game of the year.
Yeah, wasn't that the Kirk Cousins arrival?
And then they put him back in for the playoff game, even though he was still injured, and he fell apart.
Was Kirk Cousins like that game? Wasn't that as a Commander?
I don't think that was a playoff game, though.
I thought it was.
I'm looking it up.
That's what Ryan Nurmi said in the Woodward Sports Chat. Appreciate y'all tapping in. Make sure you smash that like button. But a matchup I'm looking forward to in this game is Amik Robertson going up against Terry McLaurin. Terry McLaurin is a very good wide receiver in the NFL, and Amik Robertson has shown that he will go toe-to-toe with the best of the best in the league on the outside, and he will come out victorious. So I'm sure he's taking that as a personal challenge. Obviously, he's probably going to be lined up on Terry McLaurin for a lot of this game. So I'm excited to watch that matchup. I'm excited to see these two guys fight it out there and go back and forth. So hopefully we get a lot of what we saw out of that Minnesota game from Amik Robertson, but him versus Terry McLaurin should be a very fun matchup to watch as they go around the field. And Dynamic Brown also had a big game against the Bucks. He went out there and he made a bunch of plays, but hopefully Terrion Arnold will be back in this game, and that provides more depth in that secondary. We know Ennis Rakestraw has been activated as well. He is set to return, so we'll see if he gets any snaps. I would highly doubt they use a lot of Ennis Rakestraw, if any of Ennis Rakestraw in this one, but watching these Lions fight, because Dynamic Brown's a good player. Obviously, Terry McLaurin is arguably a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL, so seeing those guys go back and forth with these Lions cornerbacks will be fun.
He is right. It was Mark Brunell versus Chris Sims. You want Mark Brunell's stat lineup? 7 of 15 for 41 yards.
There you go, Mark.
1 interception, 2 sacks. And then Chris Sims, that should put it in perspective too. 2 interceptions, 0 touchdowns. That was a poop bowl.
Poop bowl.
And it's a 2005. Absolutely correct. I have a question for you. I think we all assume the return to Dave Montgomery. We've kind of talked about it today a little bit. How much of him would you like to see? How much of him do you expect to see? Should they give him a little bit of limit his numbers, limit his snaps a little bit because of that injury?
I mean, we're going to see. I said I expect David Montgomery to. We saw him come back in during that injury, and he didn't look injured. Like he was still running like David Montgomery was. I expect them to use him in that first drive, but we talked about it last week about how I could see this being a 65-35 or even 70-30 split when you look at Jahmyr Gibbs to David Montgomery. We do have a video of Dan Campbell speaking on David Montgomery and what he's going to bring to this team. We're going to come back to that after break. But first, let me tell you guys about Lady Jane's, because Lady Jane's, we take the chore out of getting a haircut. Whether it's the lovely Alyssa or any of our other wonderful stylists, you can get a hot lather neck shave, relaxing scalp massage, a hot towel treatment, and an award-winning haircut. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for men. It's wicked awesome.
Back-to-back NFC North Division champions. The Detroit Lions are playoff bound and ready to eat the kneecaps of anyone standing in our way. Follow Woodward Sports as we cover the best season in Detroit Lions history. Go Lions!
Talk about pressure, we live in pressure. That's where we freaking thrive. You did it again.
From Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
How do people feel about getting a Planet Fitness membership for $15 a month? How do they like working out in a clean and spacious gym that's filled with equipment for every workout? And how about free fitness training in the judgment-free zone that leaves them feeling energized all day long? Join Planet Fitness today with the free PF app, online or in club, and start getting that big fitness energy for $15 a month.
A ton of fun, a ton of sports, and a ton of man meat. Welcome to the Woodward Heavyweights, live daily 5 to 7 p.m. on Woodward Sports.
Caesar Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000. Scan that QR code on the screen, and your first bet up to $1,000 will be risk-free. So make sure you tap in Caesar Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports.
I mean a lot. Five's a big part of us. He's a huge part of us, you know, and to me, he's a bell cow. He's somebody that, he's a tone setter, you know, he's a catalyst. So there's a place for him. There's a place for him here. So there'll be a place for him in this game. So it's going to be good to get him back.
So there's Dan Campbell talking about David Montgomery, being a bell cow, being a tone setter, being a guy that has a place in this game. And there, you see him have a little coy smile at the end of it when he said there's a place for him here. There's a place for him in this game. So I think David Montgomery is going to be business as usual, honestly. The way he said that, I mean, he knows there's a place for him because he knows that Washington Commanders' run defense is dog shit. So if you can get David Montgomery going, like I said, that first drive, can you imagine, just like they did with Anzalone, David Montgomery is going to be the last player to get announced in the pregame, and Ford Field's going to erupt.
They know what they're doing. David
Montgomery goes out there. First drive has been David Montgomery's drive all year. He's just chipping away. Boom, 6 yards. Boom, 10 yards, 6 yards, 5 yards. That place is going to be so loud. That place is going to go crazy. And David Montgomery is more than just a power back for the Detroit Lions. He means so much for this team as a leader, as the heart and soul of that running back room, as a veteran in that offense, as a power back and an elusive back. Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't think anybody would question, is the better between the two backs. But David Montgomery means so much for these guys going forward. I expect them to go out there. They're going to be playing hard. That offensive line is going to be blocking harder because they know they got Monty back there. They're trying to give him a good lift in his first game back.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I had the conversation with Lucas this offseason, just heading into it, and we're just kind of not arguing, but he's and Gibbs is driving, so as you said, probably the better of the two. But he should be getting more snaps, more carries, give him the ball. I'm like, listen, brother, like Demo has a role in this offense, and it's to set the tone. It's to get that initial punch in the mouth out of the way, and let them know like this is the type of game we're going to be here. And then you switched up with Jahmyr Gibbs and actually start messing with their head a little bit. You got the smash and dash, as it's classically called. It's not longer peanut butter. It's not like a knuckles as we have it branded here in Detroit. That's what David Montgomery is. You have your knuckles back. But if I'm being honest with you, Spenny, I kind of opened this conversation to the chat, Kool-Aid, Chris, you as well. I still kind of want Gibbs to get more touches. And I fully understand establishing and setting the tone. I 100% agree. But just seeing what he's been able to do these past 2 weeks, you see him win the Offensive Player of the Month for the NFC. It was like 6 total rushing touchdowns and 3 more receiving. He's been on fire, and I just think we should continue that. I still want Monty to get his. I just want it to be in Monty situations, right? Short yardage. Situation where he is the hammer and making the defense a nail. 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. Anything within 5 yards, give the ball to Monty. But anything outside of that, I kind of want Jahmyr Gibbs in the game.
Jahmyr Gibbs is going to get his. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be used how he's been used. But now you have David Montgomery back. And remember, this team is undefeated when Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery both score touchdowns.
There's value there, too. I think you want to look back to that Chicago Bears game. It took, 4 tries to finally get in that 1 yard?
Yes.
And God bless Jahmyr Gibbs. He's still a dog, and he'll still put his shoulder down, too. That's Monty. That's the first drive?
4th and 1 against the Vikings. You throw that to J-Mo, or do you give it to David Montgomery if he's in the game?
Probably give it to David Montgomery.
You probably give it to David Montgomery. Like, the guy has his role. He is a tone setter. He is the hammer. And that was specifically what I took from that, is when he said tone setter. And how do you set the tone? You set the tone in the first drive of the game. And what has David Montgomery done all year? He's gotten that first drive of the game. So I expect him to get that first drive again, and I expect him to punish some people out there.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe even just for his bearings, Like his first taste of blood, let him get that first drive.
Yeah.
He's for sure waiting for it. We talk about how they crafted this team. Those guys that want that ball, want that blood.
And honestly, when you look at it, both of those guys, obviously they both ball out. But I like what he's been more versatile this season as well. So it's not like you're losing a whole lot when it is David Montgomery, because he's caught the ball, I think, probably the best in his career this year with the Lions.
I agree.
But
most yards per reception this year for him.
But what I do like is this. Being able to keep Jahmyr Gibbs as fresh as possible. I think when you get a David Montgomery back, it allows him to be able to go out there and still pick up the 4 or 5 yards to carry, do all the nitty-gritty stuff, wear down a defensive line, and then give Jahmyr Gibbs just that much more opportunity, much more fresh against a worn-down defensive line to go and pop one. I think it's the perfect setup when you have them both there. I know what you're saying, Easy, because it's tantalizing. Seeing a lot more of Jahmyr Gibbs was like, wow, this guy can definitely do everything. He looked like a guy that can get 200 yards a game easily. But when you talk about going out there and controlling that tempo and setting a tone, that's where I do believe David Montgomery is still that guy.
Yeah.
And then it allows Jahmyr to, in that second half, be as fresh as possible and go ahead.
And shout out to Byrne in the Woodward Sports Chat with the super chat. He says, if Monty intends to run until his knee falls off for Spenny, Monty is willing to open the 8th gate like he's about to fight Amon-Ra. And that is for sure. Like he's ready to go. The red blur, David Montgomery. But
was that a movie, video game reference?
It's from Naruto. Mike Guy, shout out the GOAT. Those who know. Mike Guy is the GOAT.
Shout out to Byrne.
Shout out to Byrne. Chris, how do you feel about Montgomery's return?
I think I'm kind of in between where you guys are at with it. Like I'm looking at this as Monty will be a focal point in the first drive, but I think it will be kind of led by Gibbs, and then they will let Monty punch it in. I do think there will be you'll start to see that split happen very, very consistently. I don't think you're going to see like 50-50 right off the bat. I don't think you're going to see a full Monty drive the first drive. I could be wrong there, but you're absolutely right in terms of the impact that it brings. The just this different style that it brings. Because how many times were those possessions with Gibbs just so quick, and it felt like
I said that last week.
Yeah, it felt
people
like
said I hate touchdowns.
Yeah, I know, and it's like no, you could do both. You can bleed the clock and run up the score. You could do both things. That's what great offenses do, and that's what the Lions have been able to do. They've been able to score in bunches when they need to, but they've also been able to bleed the clock and slowly kill you, like that Dan Campbell quote that we always bring up about bringing them out to the water and slowly drowning them. So I'm excited. I think Monty will have a big game. I think he will be relatively his version. I like to play the 100% game of where he's at health wise, and I feel like he's gonna be anywhere in the 80s. I feel like he's going to be pretty damn healthy. I don't think he's going to be that hindered. I don't think you're gonna see a lot of a misstep of him.
Angel. Shout out Hinder. But a lot of these guys, we talk about it, the Dan Campbell guy, the Detroit Lions guy, the guy they're looking for in the attitude they bring and who they are as a player. Obviously, a lot of these guys are cut from the same cloth. I think David Montgomery is cut from the same cloth as Alex Anzalone, both for what they do as players, how they help this team, who they are in this team respectively, and the attitude that they play with. And I think we're going to see what happened with Anzalone in his first game back happen the same thing with David Montgomery in his first game back. Because there's going to be we don't want to give him this full drive, or we don't want to give him this lion's share, not even lion's share, but this big share of touches. And then you go out there the first drive, and he's busting off 8 yards of carry, and you're like, well, fuck, we got to keep giving him the ball. And he's just playing too well because this game is made for David Montgomery to fucking eat. Eat. We talk about how bad their run defense is.
Feed him.
This game is, I think we're going to see, and Dan Campbell said it himself, they didn't want to play Anzalone as much as they did in that first game back against the Vikings. But he was playing so damn well, he forced them to keep him on the field. I think we're going to see the same thing out of David Montgomery. They're not going to want to maybe give him that whole first drive, maybe ease into it, but they're going to give him 3 carries, and he's going to have 30 yards in 3 carries. And they're going to be like, well, maybe we should keep giving him the ball. And at the end of the day, you're going to look, and it's going to be David Montgomery with a very similar touch share to Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah, I think I don't want people to forget, and I'm definitely not forgotten of the type of year he was having, the type of things he was saying coming into this year, and it's to the point where he's put himself on a national pedestal, right? Multiple angry run scepters, where he's a highlight of the tape, he's the bell of the ball. It's the point, and it's kind of cool for me as a Lions fan, as a national point where people are getting trucked, I was like David, I think it was Connor Bedard. All right, a Chicago rival jokingly said if he were a football player, he'd be like Dave Montgomery on skates. And it's because he knows, he brings it. And fuck Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks. But either way, that's the style of ball he was playing this year. It was brand football. You see somebody get trucked, damn, he's just David Montgomery to him. It was that type of year he was having. I'm not forgotten of that at all. And he's going to bring that in short yard situations. I still want to see Gibby out there too. That's all I'm saying.
Gibby's he's gonna be out there. They're not gonna forget about Jahmyr Gibbs. I think this is it's fine. Jahmyr Gibbs is gonna get the ball. He's gonna be very effective, as is David Montgomery.
And the thing with David Montgomery, truck sticks, is that those things go for yards.
Yes.
Do we know where Witherspoon is?
And they hype everybody up. And it gasses everybody up. It makes the offensive line want to go out there and put some people in the dirt on the next play. It makes the defense want to get back out on the field and start hitting people.
Do we remember that game against Devin Witherspoon in the Seattle Seahawks?
Yeah.
Do we remember that game?
He got dribbled on the ground like a basketball.
That's one of my favorite plays.
He really did. He bounced right back up. I'm like, damn, dude, how hard did you get hit that you literally bounced back off the ground?
Yeah.
It was very impressive. I guess the way I want David is outside of the first drive, because I do want that first drive to go to Monty. Yeah. Again, that first draw of blood. Punch him right in the fucking mouth. We just talked about the style of run that he plays. Give me that for sure, that first drive. But short yard situations, Monty. Long yard situations, long down situations, Gibbs. Running outside, Gibbs. Run inside, Monty. Just give them in their spots. You know what I'm saying?
They've done all year. Are you worried about it?
All year has been splits. No, I just want more Jahmyr.
Yeah, I think they're going to be doing what they've done all year, and it's going to be an offensive dominant performance by the Detroit Lions.
You think he's healthy enough to do what he's done all year?
I think they're going to, like I said, he's going to force their hand. Because he's going to be out there, he's going to be balling. Maybe not 100% with it, but just because David Montgomery's getting carries doesn't mean they're just going to forget about Jahmyr Gibbs.
I think
he's going to get his too.
Yeah, I think in the spots he'll get his the way he's been delivering. I don't know what to expect in terms of split or effectiveness.
I would say 60-40.
I think in the passing, catching the ball, which has been phenomenal. Kool-Aid was talking about it, and I told you he's averaging the most yards per reception in his career. I think he's just as effective there because he'll be already in motion with the ball running. We saw it when he went out, as you said, to return back. He wasn't effective running the ball. He was effective catching the ball.
Yeah.
I think you'll see him there. I don't know. I guess we got to see it first, but I definitely think he's going to bring something. I'm not discounting him or just shortchange him at all.
I think it's the play action. I think that's what gets people. When you have David Montgomery back there, I think that's the best play action cell that the Lions can run. Because everybody believes David Montgomery is going to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden they pass it to him because the Witherspoon one, that was off of a play action.
Yeah, that was a catch.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. And then all of a sudden it's David Montgomery versus any linebacker. Run a linebacker. I don't care. Yeah. I'm just picking David Montgomery.
Either of these guys. You get either of these guys in one-on-ones. And we talked to Dion about it, and like Dion said, like that Minnesota game was made for David Montgomery too because of the undersized linebackers that Minnesota has. This is another game that's made for David Montgomery because of how bad they are at stopping the run. Like we are going to move people in these trenches, and they're going to come out playing hard. You know, Bobby Wagner, Super Bowl champion, he knows what he's doing. He's going to bring a tone to set, but the Lions, they've been waiting. Like Easy said, they've been chomping at the bit. They've been hungry. They haven't played football in a week. These guys are mad. They want to go out there and they want to hit people. They want to go out there and they want to establish. They want to get this over with and win the Super Bowl. So I expect them to come out, all systems go, firing like a well-oiled machine, and to make some quick work of this Commanders team.
I'm with that. I'm with that 100%. I think that's going to be the key, is the physicality of this game. I think that's going to set the tone, and I really think that you're right. This is a team that just, they don't like taking weeks off. They're probably happy their bye week was in week 5. They're probably like, great, 12 weeks of football straight, sign me up. Yeah. I think they're ready and they're up for the challenge. And I've said this before, with the Dan Campbell team, you're just never going to be unprepared or not ready for the moment. Yeah. That's just not a thing. So I've heard the narrative of people saying, well, you know, the Lions might be a little rusty coming off. No. If you step in the electricity that Ford Field building will have, you are not going to be short of energy, of desire, of passion to play the game of football. So I'm excited for these guys to play it. I'm excited to see how this will play out. But for that game, you need to get some fresh new merch. Head on over to woodwardsports.com. Click the shop tab there. Get yourself some brand new merch. They got hoodies, tees, hats, all that. You see grit personified on a shirt. Get it now at woodwardsports.com. Click that shop tab there and get the best Detroit sports merch in the game.
Can't get enough Lions coverage? Make sure you catch all Woodward sports shows every game day. Wake up with Woodward and Maine, giving you the latest insight into the Lions locker room and press conferences. Then join the Lions pregame show, highlighting key matchups, injuries, and what to watch for during the game. Follow all the ups and downs of the live game action with our Woodward Watch Party live on YouTube and woodwardsports.com. After the game, check out the instant fan and host reactions with the Lions postgame show. Every game, it's wall-to-wall, kneecap-biting, high-fiving, chest-pumping Lions coverage.
Hell yeah!
Only at Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer, is kicking off the game with the best prices on all cars, trucks, and SUVs, like this 2024 Silverado for just $296 a month, or this 2025 Equinox for as low as $371 a month. Our locations in Novi, Highland, New Hudson, Livonia, and Lansing means we have the perfect Chevy right in your backyard. Get the home team advantage every day at Feldman Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side. Woodward Sports.
The live watch party and the post-game show only at Hayes Social. Make sure you check them out for every Detroit Lions game. Presented by New Holland Brewing Company, Sabbath Coffee Roasters, Soroki's Crispy Chicken and Pizza, and 1800 Tequila.
Spitty, I asked you a cool question.
What's up?
When we played that Buffalo game, remember you kind of like came out flat?
Yeah.
The Lions did. And that was like after a little bit of extra rest because we had played Green Bay the week prior, that Thursday night. So like those 10 days worth of rest. We kind of call it like a mini bye. Do you think any of that had to do with that mini bye, or you think we just like what was that?
Did David Montgomery play in that game?
I think no. I don't think he did.
I think what that was more so just a bad script, because I believe the first 3 plays were pass, and I think it was a bad first script, and then Buffalo just quickly got ahead, and then they just built momentum off of that.
Yeah, they did come out first. You're right, actually. I think you hit on that. No Dave Montgomery. That's probably caused a bad script because we come out those first drive with Dave Montgomery.
He is a tone setter, as Dan Campbell just said. He is a tone setter. No David Montgomery in that game, you get off to a slow start. No David Montgomery in a couple of these games, and they punted on their first drive. Like, this is what this guy does. It's what they've done all year. It's what they've relied on all year. He goes out there, and he gets you first downs. He goes out there, and he finds that fucking dog. So I think David Montgomery being back is going to make it a lot easier to get off to faster starts, to get more comfortable, to get your feet a little wet. You hand the ball off to 5, and he's going to go out there, and he's going to fight for a first down for you.
I like that, because I'm wondering too, because I don't think we're ones to rest on our laurels and get caught slipping that way. But then I look back at this year when we had that one, the bye week we came out, we beat the shit out of the Dallas Cowboys, and then we had the Bills game though. We did come out a little slow, but I don't think it had anything to do with that many bye. It's more so you were missing your tone setter, and for whatever God forbid reason, you went out there 3 straight passes. Don't know what the hell that was. When we run the ball, that's what this team does. You ever notice that too? Those 2 games we lost. The freaking not the Buffalo. I'm sorry. Well, the Buffalo Bills we did lose.
Tampa Bay.
Did have both our running backs. Didn't establish the run like we wanted to. Then you go back to Tampa Bay as well too. Did not establish the run. Ben Johnson was overpassing. Jared Goff had like 55-something attempts in that one. Way too many.
I think the first drive is just so critical for the Lions, and that's why I had it for them, because, not that I'm worried about the Lions, but it really does just feeds into their mantra of just playing from ahead, forcing you to play out of your element, because you then adjust to their game and they set the tone. Like you said, so much of it is Monty. So I think that first drive is important, not just for a guy like Jaden Daniels, who's a rookie in the biggest moment of his NFL career so far, of his football career so far, but I think it's also twofold with the Lions as well, as a team that, if they come out, they get that first drive, then it's almost like they're just cruise control after that. So I think it's a big deal when they, the times when they go 3 and out early, or they just get stuffed on the first drive, which is rare, but when that happens, I do get a little nervous. I think the first drive is very important to the Lions as well.
Yes, but the first drive is what sets the game up. It's what starts the game. And if you go down there and you score a touchdown on your first drive, your opponent is playing catch up for the rest of the game. So it's going to be important to get out to a hot start. And like I said, if David Montgomery is going to get that drive, I fully expect him to. I fully expect them to move the ball. I fully expect them to score a touchdown on their first drive. Hopefully, it comes after a 3 and out from the Commanders. And then you drive, you have a 7-8 minute drive, you score a touchdown, the Commanders get the ball left with 3 minutes left in the first quarter. That has been a script for the Lions to win. That has been what they've tried to do all year. And hopefully that they can get that ball or defer into the first half or into the second half, and you can get everything going, everything swimming. But even if not, if you get the ball first, if the Commanders win the toss and they defer, you go out there, you drive the ball right down their throats, you score 7 points.
Absolutely. What version of Detroit Lions defense are you expecting in this one?
I'm expecting to see a very, very good version of this Detroit Lions defense. Going up against a rookie quarterback, expect them to disguise a lot of coverages, send blitzers from different angles, from different spots. Expect to see Brian Branch, Amik Robertson, Terrion Arnold even blitzing some of these corner blitzes, because you got a rookie in there. You're going to have to throw some different things at him, because he is very talented and he can make a lot of plays. So Aaron Glenn's going to throw a lot of different things at him to confuse him. You're going to see some defensive tackles drop back into coverage. You're going to see some defensive ends bump out into coverage and send all the linebackers. Aaron Glenn's going to get a little freaky out there with his blitzes, and I think he's going to throw Jaden Daniels off his game, have him second-guessing himself. And when you have the opportunity and the secondary that the Detroit Lions do, just that second thought from Jaden Daniels can result in an interception for Kirby Joseph.
If you think about that secondary in the bye week, who was just getting comfortable? Ife Melifonwu, send him off the edge. We understand him as a secondary member. Aaron Glenn has been able to scheme up some pretty cool packages, whether it's sending him after the quarterback, sending him in on run plays, or having him drop back in coverage like we saw against the Minnesota Vikings. And when I think about that game, 2 years ago, last year when we won the division, when I think about that game, you think about the fact that if he was playing middle of the field and up, like pretty much the whole time, and then like you keep alluding to, Spinny, that interception came him dropping back in coverage. And that's what I'm like, you know what, when Aaron Glenn steps up and Easy asks, what do we expect out of defense? I do expect this type of stuff. I expect the pressure to be there. I expect them to speed up Jaden Daniels. Don't wait for him to run, even if it's a designed run. If you're getting after it, guess what? Are the blockers in place? Mm-hmm. Does he have the ability to Mike Vick somebody? Like, I just don't know. I don't know. But I believe that if you play to control the tempo, not just the time of possession, but on defense, speed him up. That's the theme that we've heard from Aaron Glenn defenses all season. I remember earlier in the season, they were actually tracking it.
Yeah.
How quarterbacks had like a second less to even throw or make a decision with the ball. So that's what I expect out of him. And I think that if he's going to be a little bit more healthy, is going to have opportunity to play a really, really big role.
You got a lot of versatile players, and we talked about those two guys come back in Ifeatu Melifonwu and Alex Anzalone, and what they provide for this defense when it comes to flexibility and allowing the other players around them to be more aggressive. Expect Jack Campbell to be in the backfield a lot. Expect Ifeatu Melifonwu to be in the backfield a lot. Like, these guys are going to be sent. And these guys, when Jack Campbell blitzes, he comes with bad fucking intentions. Like, when Ifeatu Melifonwu blitzes, he's coming with bad fucking intentions. So I expect to see Aaron Glenn throwing a lot to confuse the rookie quarterback. And like we saw with Sam Darnold, get him out of his spot, make him second-guess himself, and get to him.
Yeah, since 2018, among all rookie quarterbacks, Jaden Daniels ranks first in completions, passing yards, and touchdowns, as a tied first, actually, and completion percentage and passer rating against the blitz. Mm-hmm. But I don't care.
No.
That's how we play.
Yep.
That's how we have to get the job done. And, yeah, he may have those, and he may see a ton of them. I still think what we have in that backfield lurking, and Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph will more than make up for these numbers we're seeing, because not every team has a Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph lurking back there. And we're blessed with one of the best safety pairings across the NFL. And Ifeatu Melifonwu, that's the name I'm probably looking for across the entirety of the defense. You guys can get there quick and in a hurry, and then cause Jaden Daniels to make that same rushing moment where he's trying to run the football and he gets cleaned up by Jack Campbell.
Yeah.
Or he makes a mistake and throws towards Brian Branch.
And I saw it multiple times in this game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jaden Daniels, he throws darts. Like he's got a fastball. Yeah. And there were a couple situations where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Todd Bowles likes to do this too, bounce those guys, those defensive linemen or defensive ends back into coverage. Diaby missed an interception by an eyelash. These guys missed interceptions by a hair, because Jaden Daniels, what he does, he recognizes the linebacker blitz or the safety blitz, and he throws it to where that linebacker or safety would be. The Lions are going to have defensive linemen standing out there, bumping back into coverage. So I would not be surprised if we saw a weird interception. Like a Zadarius Smith interception.
He had an opportunity last game.
Or an El-Quadin Muhammad interception, who has pass breakups already this year. I wouldn't be surprised to see those guys bump back into coverage. They send Anzalone and Campbell. Jaden Daniels throws it to where that vacant linebacker spot is, and there's AQM waiting for it. Boom.
Against the Vikings, they did. They were running the stunts with the linebackers. That's what the broadcast was calling out, was that one of the linebackers didn't care about anything other than picking a certain position on that offensive line and allowing the other linebacker or another defensive lineman to be able to get home. We were talking about how they developed this pressure, and I think that when you put that focus on the secondary like they have, it allows them to do so much. When you could bring the linebackers and then also have an additional safety to kind of make sure to spy, it gives Aaron Glenn's defense so much to work with, especially when their players are fast, they're aggressive, they play to the whistle. You know that they're punishing the other team every single play. It all works in their favor.
Mm-hmm.
Just does, man.
I could see. I'm just saying. Diaby, if he would have turned around, he would have had an interception on that ball to Austin Eckler, and that could have ended the game.
I'm still waiting on Jack Campbell's first career interception.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping.
Shift God OTC says a DJ Reader, and I'm just saying I wouldn't be surprised. Anakin Skyogre says a thick pick. I would not be surprised if there was a thick pick this week.
Yeah, I'm down.
I'm just saying, Jaden Daniels, he is good at beating the blitz, and that's because he's got a fucking fast dude's got a rocket for an arm. And as soon as he sees that linebacker or safety blitzing, he throws it, he uncorks it right to where they're coming from. And I expect that Aaron Glenn to supplement that with his defensive linemen bumping back into coverage. I wouldn't be surprised for it.
NFC playoffs tonight.
There's that play right there. That was the play right there. Diaby missed it by an eyelash, and Eckler got the catch and got a first down.
Who wins tonight?
The Rams.
Do they withstand the Eagles?
No.
To beat the Detroit Lions?
No.
Stafford saga ends there?
Stafford saga ends there.
Chris, who you got?
You guys are gonna hate me because I'm gonna do that thing again, but it's gonna go one of two ways. If it's a close game, the Vikings are gonna win. But if the Rams are winning, then I see a continuation of what we saw at Ford Field with Sam Darnold, where he is just gone and there is just no hope, and they're up by like 15. Like I see it going one of two ways. If it's a close game, I think the Vikings are gonna edge it out, and that's my gut feeling right now. But I also think second quarter I could look dumb and they could be down 14, 16 points to the Rams.
This guy Chris sits on every fence he can.
No.
Well, if the Rams are winning, they're probably going to win. But if the Vikings win, I could see them winning as well. Who you got, Easy?
Rams. I think if it's a close game, it's Rams because of Matthew Stafford. I think
Stafford and McVay they're battle tested,
Go ahead,
man.
Easy. You get two options.
We've seen enough cardiac cat moments like Matthew Stafford here in Detroit to know it's a close game. It's going towards Matthew Stafford. Yep. We've seen enough big pressure moment or one big pressure moment for Sam Darnold, an absolute freaking choke, and that was here in Detroit. So, I mean, if it's a close game, let's go to Matthew Stafford.
And the Rams have good pass rushers.
Yes, they do.
They do.
Jared Verse is a dog.
Jared Verse, Byron Young.
Yeah.
Like they're going to be able to get to Sam Darnold.
The other cat off FSU they got, the
Fisk.
Fisk.
Are you guys still invested in this game, knowing that this isn't our opponent anymore, or
Not
really?
Not as invested.
Yeah.
No, I want to
gonna
see
lie.
the Vikings lose because I hate their fan base.
Yeah.
Outside of one bar.
Yeah, shout to one bar.
Shout to one bar.
Anytime I talk shit about the Vikings fan base, it excludes one bar because he's the man.
Yeah, I would love for them to be silenced. I'm kind of sick of them running their mouths. They're delusional, disrespectful, liars, even. I mean, I'm not even joking. They're just spread filthy, dirty smut. It's just like they're a gross, pussy-ass fan
They're
base.
so pussy.
That needs to be silenced this season.
They are
I'm
so
done with
pussy.
them.
Like, I've
The
never
Packers, too.
seen another
Good
fan
riddance to fucking Packers fan base, too,
Yeah,
by the
Packers
way.
fans suck.
Fucking cocky for no goddamn reason. You guys beat nobody this year to fucking talk the way you've been talking.
1 and
And then
5.
the fucking analysts, I think it was
good
Michael
team,
Strahan
though.
I saw before the game started yesterday, picked the back. Why?
Yeah.
Who have they beaten for you to pick the goddamn Packers to beat the Eagles? That was crazy. They beat nobody all year. They got swept by the Vikings, got swept by the Lions, and they split with the Bears. The Bears! Why isn't anybody talking about them like they're anything? The Packers are soft, and they're not able to compete any type of level like that. I'm good fucking riddance.
That was your team, though.
Not my team. No point was that my fucking team. And Bass, by the way, too.
Kinda your
You look like a bitch. I'm sorry, bud. You did. Like
who?
Bass. You haven't had any interactions with him. I had the pleasure of having an interaction with him. He was trying to slander Kirby's name, and they got shit on by J.J. Watt. But
the guy with the wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dude with the hair.
Sorry, buddy. Like, in that situation, you gotta switch seats.
I'm
with
kicking
him.
the shit out of that guy.
Yeah. If you're not fighting him, switch seats with him.
At the very least, switch seats with your wife.
And what do you do? Like, you were so arrogant that you thought your fucking team was going to win, that you bought expensive-ass playoff tickets, travel tickets, took your little fruity ass to fucking Philadelphia, and you thought you were going to win that game and not take shit? What did you think? You were that arrogant of your team.
You know what Phillies fans are.
That's crazy.
And there's no excusing that. Like, that guy is a complete asshole, and he's a dick, but that's Philadelphia. That's everybody, like, worldwide known that that's who Philly fans are. So switch seats with your wife and beat that dude's ass. Like that's what you got to do.
Experience you think you're gonna
thousands
have.
of dollars to just not stand on
If
business.
someone
That's
called
crazy.
my wife a dumb cunt to my face, I would beat the dog fucking piss out of
He
that
said,
guy.
cool.
Yeah.
I recorded him.
I'm beating the dog shit out of him. Like, I'll get kicked out of it. I don't care. Your team's losing anyways.
Chat, what is like? I don't like jail. All right, I've had a jail experience. Don't want to go back. So I'm cool with not being
Never been to
violent. But
jail.
like, you gotta switch fucking seats.
I would
bro.
get jailed over that.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Kool-Aid, you have a wife.
Yeah.
What are you doing in that situation? Be honest. Don't let us, because we're aggressive and have like.
Oh, look.
And you're a man of peace.
Old me, college me, yeah, and I'm counting it. I told Stick earlier, I'm sitting there like, yep, I know I'm gonna get my tail whooped, but I'm sorry, just sitting there and do nothing. That's just a different pain that I don't care to live with.
He's gonna dream about that old
I
man
got kids,
his
I have
entire
sons. Like, what are we doing? I tell them, take up for when I leave the house. They know that they are the protectors of that home and of their sisters and of their mom and their aunts and such. You don't just sit there and allow that. If you're not going to fight, walk away, swap seats, go somewhere else. Say something though. You can't just sit there.
No.
You can't, bro. Like
You're a
that
bitch.
was the part to me that was just like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
I try to be a man of peace. But I'm sorry, it doesn't say anywhere in a book that you cannot defend yourself.
Yeah.
So we're actually called to make sure we step up and we defend our women. When she looked at him and gave him, every dude has seen that look, and you already know. It's just like, bro, you broke her heart a little bit inside. It
And
was
like I said, it's at the very least you switch seats with her.
At the very
You're just gonna let her get
Yeah.
berated like that. And, like, come on, man, that's embarrassing for you.
Yeah, and I tell you what, he may feel good about doxing him or just putting the video out there.
Cool.
Every night, every nightmare you're gonna have with that old fucking man, and you're gonna regret not punching
And your
him in the
wife
face.
is gonna remember every day
Forever.
for the rest of her
for
life
sure.
that you just sat there and let it happen.
And she's also, if she's I mean, I don't know about everyone's. I've had women in my life. They're kind of crazy, and they'll throw it out there like,
Oh, for sure.
That's why he didn't punch that old man.
Oh,
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? Like, yeah,
for sure.
That was
Burns says you're not getting arrested for fighting at an Eagles game. It's an Eagles game. That's honestly true.
That's a good point.
That is a very good point. And
out to Burns.
Red Wings fan club says tough guy Spenny. It's not being a tough guy. It's not being a pussy. Is what it is. There's a big difference. I'm not gonna go around fighting random people because they disagree with my sports takes. But if you call my wife a dumb cunt repeatedly to her face, I'm kicking
do
your
people
ass.
know like it was literally
what?
like in her face? Like
Yeah, he was right in her face.
Like just his face was closer to hers than the dude's face. I'm like, yo, where's the boyfriend? Like whoever he is. Like their faces, the dude that was calling her a dumb cunt, bro, was closer to her. And I'm just like, yo, at least pull your girl in. Put your arm
Unacceptable
around
behavior.
Put your
touch
arm around her.
Do something. Be close enough to breathe on her, bro.
Yes.
I was just like, oh my gosh, you can't do this. Nah, man, what era is this, man? I don't get it.
Yeah,
That sit in the corner era.
Yeah,
the guy next.
pull
I'm
out the
gonna
phone
try
part
to
was
send it to
the
you.
Like
craziest part
I
to
don't
me.
know. I don't know people in the chat. I don't know how you were raised. I don't know. You know what you were told growing up, but I was told if someone disrespects the love of your life like that, you don't let that shit slide. Especially repeatedly, aggressively, and violently doing it. If that makes me a tough guy because I said I whooped that guy's ass, then maybe I'm a tough guy.
I'd rather you spit in his face and run something. I mean, damn. I don't know, but I sent the picture because
I'm grabbing it.
even my man's next to the girl was like looking at him like, "Are you gonna do something, bro?" Like,
We do have the video. Do we want to play the video? Because you put it in.
actually, you play a video if you want. If it's easier than the photo, whatever you prefer.
Just throw the photo.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the photo.
Because we got to go to break.
Yeah, I don't know if
anyways.
it's a guy or a girl, but they're looking across like, bro, you're just gonna sit there and like they're both looking at him. What are you gonna do, bro? I don't know, man. I understand not wanting to go to jail, but there's gotta be some course of action.
You gotta do something.
Yeah.
Action.
But we got to go to break now. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about Pistons. We're going to talk about the Red Wings. But first, let me tell you about Planet Fitness. Planet Fitness, the home of the judgment-free zone where everyone, and we mean everyone, can work on their fitness goals in a friendly, non-judgment environment. They got a friendly, knowledgeable staff. They can help you out with anything you need. You can get a full-body workout in 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all that for just $15 a month. Or you can upgrade to the Black Card, get use of amenities like hydro massage, total body enhancement, and access to over 2,500 locations worldwide. Join in club or online at planetfitness.com. Planet Fitness, where fitness is essential.
Love Woodward Sports? Love wearing clothes? Then you should be wearing Woodward Sports clothes. Check out our full line of merch at woodwardsports.com. Just click on shop. We have all your favorite designs, like Dan Campbell kneecaps, Woodward golf, and of course, our own logoed out merchandise. Men, women, infants, kids, all love Woodward Sports. Impress your friends. Impress your boss. Impress your dog. Buy Woodward Sports merch today.
Walk into any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men today. Open 7 days a week. Sit back, relax, and enjoy precision haircut, scalp massage, hot leather neck shave, and hot towel treatment from one of our talented stylists. Step up your game this season and take advantage of our $20 haircut special. Scan the QR code and get your coupon today. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, the ultimate haircut experience. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins always welcome. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Jaws Cannabis, 27 looking. 26. Charge Cannabis has got 27 locations across the greater Metro Detroit area, including ones coming to Madison Heights and Milan. Make sure you guys visit shopjars.com to find one near you. It's Jars Cannabis. Check it out.
Mike Leahy in the Woodward Sports Chat, or Mike Leahy, excuse me, in the Woodward Sports Chat says, I have an artificial leg. Dude would be eating my leg.
Ooh,
so
that'd be a good one.
For sure.
Whoa. I like iKing's response too. Follow him out the stadium. That'd be like the
No,
stealthy way
you're
to do
moving
it.
over.
Yeah.
The first time he says anything, you switch seats with your girl. You tell him to stop. If he doesn't stop, you put hands on him.
I'm switching seats.
That's how it works.
And then I'm following him out the stadium to be for safety reasons and like a one-on-one. Because like, if you're there, you're the lone
Packers guy.
Yeah, like you're probably getting your ass beat for sure. But if I catch you outside, maybe I get that one-on-one. You know.
I don't know if I'd have the patience. That does take a lot of patience.
Yeah, me personally, I mean, I don't know that I would have the patience either.
And it's just, I mean, it's Packers fans in a nutshell. That's who they are.
Soft.
Just like their head coach, just like their quarterback.
Soft as a Vikings pillow.
Soft as a Vikings pillow.
Soft as a Vikings pillow.
All right, what do you want to talk about? You want to talk about the Red Wings or the Pistons? Because both teams having fantastic games or fantastic
We have the
years.
official.
But real quick, shout out to Dat
damn.
Boy Roy with a $20 super chat. He says, "Do you truly love your wife if you just stand up there because there's a small number of women that can actually defend themselves against a man? You should always protect the ones you love." I agree. That's what I've been taught, and that's how I live my life. So,
Yeah.
like
I'm
I
also
said, you don't just jump on him. And so the first time he says anything, you switch seats with your wife. You tell him to shut up. You tell him there's going to be consequences. If he keeps doing it, you fulfill your word and you beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Y'all know my story. The one time I got in an altercation, homeless guy.
The homeless guy.
Whooped his ass, protected a woman.
punched the homeless
Chris
guy.
wears that one like a badge of honor, man.
And all he was asking for is a couple change.
Yeah, he just
A little bit of change.
He just wanted some change. Chris jumped out of the car and started kicking him.
She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "He disrespected you."
Yeah.
Nah,
All he asked for was 50
he tried
cents.
he tried to grab the girl. Wasn't having that.
Yep.
Sure.
All right, Pistons, Red Wings.
Pistons, man, we got the beat report in the building right now.
They're playing tonight in New York against the New York Knicks. I was in the stadium on Saturday with Pops.
That's right, you were.
Just me.
Yeah, just you.
And Kool-Aid. Obviously, Kool-Aid was there. But we're the only two people of importance in this room that were at that game. Obviously,
Shorts would say otherwise.
Obviously, I was politicking with Trajan Langdon.
Your pants don't talk, idiot.
You know, just rubbing elbows with the GM. No big deal there. But
try to give me that 10-day contract.
yeah,
I
trying to get
appreciate
Kool-Aid
you.
a 10-day contract. I was saying, we need a backup point guard. Give my guy Kool-Aid a 10-day contract.
Give him a shot.
But it was impressive what Cade did, man. He went out there, and again, you could tell that this team is missing Jaden Ivey. You could tell that this team is missing that secondary option in their offense, a guy that can take over, a guy that can get buckets for themselves, that can run this offense when Cade Cunningham is off the floor. But my God, did Tim Hardaway Jr. step up in that game, man. He was
Tim
hitting
McGrady.
Everything. Tim Hardaway Jr. was as wet as it gets. Pause. And stroke that thing, cuzzo. Shout out to Tim Hardaway Jr. for stepping up when they needed him. Tobias Harris, although he was an absolute turnstile when it came to the defensive side of the ball, he made some big buckets as well. And Cade Cunningham did what he did. Passed Isaiah Thomas for most triple doubles with 15 or more assists in the history of the Detroit Pistons. I was called a madman. This guy, Cade Cunningham, just continues to prove why All-star, that talk is dead. That is a given. He is going to be an all-star. All-pro, all-NBA, excuse me, that talk is dead. He is going to be an all-NBA player. I'm talking first-team all-NBA. I'm talking Cade Cunningham on MVP ballots.
Yeah.
And if they continue the way they are, if he continues playing the way they are, that he is, and this team continues to win, and they get up to that 6-5-4 seed, which they're only 2 games out of that 4 seed, Cade Cunningham should be on every single MVP ballot that anybody votes for in the NBA. Because he is single-handedly almost willing this team to victories now without Jaden Ivey, night in and night out. He's putting on masterclass performances. He has more 25-5 games than anybody in the NBA not named Nikola Jokic. So this guy is playing at a first-team All-NBA level, and you love to see it.
Love to see it. We get that. I want the good stuff. Cool. Who they acquire and help this man win some playoff games?
Man, listen, you guys already know I've been talking about guys like Zach LaVine for a while with Rod Beard and such, man. But it'd be interesting to see what they do at the deadline. They got the $14 million of cap space. It's the most in the league. And Trajan Langdon, he's sort of kind of having a little bit of a change in philosophy. Before it was, you know what, let's see what this team has with these vets. We're going to be competitive. But now he realizes, you know, they have an opportunity to be really good. They're closer to the 4th seed right now than they are to actually falling out of playoff positioning. And that's crazy, especially when you look at the teams ahead of them that have a little bit of issues to figure out, like the Miami Heat. And when you look at teams like the Indiana Pacers, who I just think the Pistons are better than. I just do. When you look at Orlando Magic, they're going to have injury issues all season long. Paolo Banchero is going to have to do so much, and he just got back from injury. So I believe that right now is that time that you say, F our first-round draft pick. It's been tied up for too many years. If you have a GM like Trajan Langdon, go out there and get somebody who can help this team really, really win. Do not look back. You're going to lose that draft pick this year, but knowing that next year, you're in a you're in a better position.
Yeah.
I think if you can get this right now on Cade's last year of his rookie deal, I think that as you hit that the money he's going to start getting paid next year, I think that that's going to be a perfect setup for him. But with this game tonight, it's going to come down to whatever they do with Karl Anthony Towns. He played the first game, they got blitzed.
Stu didn't play in that game though.
That's true. In the second game, the Pistons, Cade Cunningham, that was his magical night where he took over the Madison Square Garden. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
I think to your point, I'm with it, spending a first-round pick, but I just honestly, I don't think you're going to need to. I think between the cap space, between the multitude of second-round picks, you could get a quality guy because you're looking at teams around the league that, you know, Duncan Robinson to Miami, for example. I don't think Miami views him as a $19 million per year player, but the Pistons for 2 years, they take a flyer on that, an elite shooter that can handle the ball a little. So I just think the Pistons are in a position where, you know, they can look at these players more favorably than other players. You got New Orleans, you got Memphis, you got Houston, you got Miami. All these teams that are active in trade talks that we know right now, and I think the Pistons could get involved and get something that is quality without having to attach one of those precious first-round picks.
Well, no, what I was saying is the Pistons haven't had the opportunity the last 2 or 3 seasons to trade a first-round pick.
True.
Because it's been tied up in protections from which
From
trade?
New York.
The Isaiah Stewart trade.
Stewart trade, yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. I want them to actually go out and do some of those incremental moves like you're talking about, or if they have an opportunity to even get a star, or that's like a disgruntled star, big contract, teams just trying to move them. So that they can just finally focus on winning and not focus on, well, we got to keep our lottery pick. Now you have an opportunity to say, you know what, skip it. If we make the playoffs, we lose our draft pick this year, oh well. So go out with all those other assets that you're talking about and make something happen, because I don't want to waste any more of Cade's time. Yeah. I don't want to waste any more of the fans' time. I don't want to wait. Bro, do you know how many season ticket holders I talked to over the last 3 years, man? Like, including Nick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nick. Like, it's time to handle business now.
And shout out to George Bashara in the Woodward Sports chat real quick with the super chat. He says, has the hotel chair been replaced for that stadium seat for that fan? At the very least, he would have switched seats with his girl, for sure. 100%.
I think you're right, Kula. And I think, too, to point to this roster, like, we can all acknowledge that as great as Cade Cunningham is playing, and as great as his team is playing, I should say, this roster isn't that great still talent-wise. Like, you have Hardaway and Beasley who have been great, but they've been inconsistent. You have Asar and Holland who are developing players. You have Fontecchio that's been very up and down. Duran, Stewart, up and down. So this roster, you could get a guy that's a rotational player, and Cade Cunningham, and that's why he's so special, is he can make that guy a really good player. Him and JB, because you also have to give the coaching staff a lot of credit too for putting these players in position to succeed. But you don't have to get a world-class player to be a top 4 seed. I think if you just get a quality rotation player at the deadline, you can be a 4 seed. You can host a playoff round.
Can any of those fall off the Jimmy Butler trade to Memphis?
Absolutely. I mean, especially you're kind of salivating if you're a Pistons fan right now, because the latest talk is Miami and Memphis. And both of those teams are deep with a lot of guys, young, old. You're talking older players like Terry Rozier, younger players like Jaime Jaquez. I don't know what's going to be in that deal. Desmond Bane. I wouldn't expect that to be the kickback to Detroit. But you got the Scottie Pippen Jr. who's been playing well for them. That might be their piece that they're moving Memphis in the trade. Like, there's just a lot of quality players on both those teams. So if you're able to get in on that deal, I mean, you're talking a lot of good players. Marcus Smart, who hasn't been able to find his way in the Memphis rotation, maybe that's a guy you're looking at. I don't know if I'm too crazy about that, but he does kind of intrigue me. So there's a lot of good quality players to get. So I think that's definitely feasible.
Yeah,
he's spitting facts.
Shout out to that boy Roy in the Woodward Sports Chat. He says we have the best 4 coaches in the same time ever. I would agree with that. I think this is the best 4 coaches that Detroit has ever had in the city at once. And speaking of which, we get 3 minutes here to talk about this Detroit Red Wings team, and this Detroit Red Wings team that has won 7 straight games. This Detroit Red Wings team that is 7-1 since Todd McClellan has taken over. Chris, can you throw the graphic up there real quick? This Detroit Red Wings team that has 4 players in the top of the NHL in points since December 29th. Patrick Kane with 13, Raymond with 12, DeBrincat with 11, and Dylan Larkin with 10. Dylan Larkin has scored 6 goals in the past 7 games. Patrick Kane has scored 4 goals and has all those assists in the past 7 games. These guys are playing at a different level. And it's not just the stars. That is one thing you like to see. You like to see your stars being stars under Todd McClellan, whether it's Patrick Kane or Dylan Larkin or Lucas Raymond or Alex DeBrincat. You have other guys stepping up. You have Gustafsson stepping up and getting goals on the power play. You have Johansson stepping up as that defenseman, getting into the offensive zone. He's got a couple points in his last few games. Mo Seider has been lights out per usual. This team is playing so hard under the Todd father. It is a fun brand of hockey to watch. Their penalty kill has been vastly improved since moving on from what Derek Lalonde was trying to do. Their power play has been much more aggressive and much more effective. They've got a power play goal in 7 straight games now. They are just impressive to watch, and you're seeing them attack. You're seeing them get pucks on the net. You're seeing them screen the goaltender with different guys, whether it be Veleno or Casper or Rasmussen or whoever they're putting in front of the net, these big bodies to get them out there in front of the net. It is just fun to watch, man. P1029 says it. Raymond on pace for 90 points. He is taking that step into stardom. He is taking that step into being that guy on this team. Dylan Larkin obviously proving he is a 1C in the NHL. And Tom McClellan proving that this team quit on Derek Lalonde. Tom McClellan proving how much of a difference a coach can make. This is a guy who's been a head coach in the NHL for over 16 years. So these veterans are going to listen to him. These guys are going to play better. And I think a guy that hasn't been talked about as much because he does the dirty work and he doesn't really show up on the stat sheet too much is Mott. When you look at getting him back and what he means for that grinding line, for that fourth line, for those for those penalty kills, Mott has been extremely important for this team going forward when it comes to killing penalties and grinding out other teams' best players. So Mott being back has been huge, and then obviously you got your stars playing like stars at the top.
Make it drop.
Ville Husso, you're going to see a lot more of him, unfortunately. But Talbot is going to be out there. You know what you're going to get out of him. Hopefully, Ville Husso can play better now that the defense is playing better in front of him. But We're going to do these last couple reads, and then we're going to get out of here. Appreciate you all tapping in. Make sure you smash the like button for the heavyweights. It's Easy, Kool-Aid, Chris. I'm Spencer. We're the heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. But first, let me tell you about New Holland Brewing Company and Taller Long Drink. Delicious stuff. It is the best canned cocktail you can get. It's grapefruit puree and gin made here in Michigan. So support local. Get some Taller Long Drink from New Holland Brewing Company. And let me tell you guys about Sabbath Coffee. Again, support local. It is delicious, locally roasted specialty coffee dropped off right at your doorstep. Use code word Woodward to get 25% off your first order. SabbathCoffeeRoasters.com. Well, we appreciate you guys for joining us again. Make sure you smash the like button for Easy, Kool-Aid, Chris. I am Spencer. We're the heavyweights. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.